actually. Bear with me.
There was silence.
Chris Jordan's back will make.
Gone out to Wood and Willie and told them that the strategy is to take a wicket with the first ball, and Jordan's just completely ignored the coaches, which they won't be happy with.
Well, he won't get back in the team, will he? I mean, he's been out of it for a while, and after that, I'll be very surprised.
As long as Jason Roy is not reading from the same rule book when he comes out to bat.
Jason Roy. Well, he got 91, didn't he, the other day for Surrey?
Well, I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, that happened there, exactly. He was back in his comfort zone, really, with Surrey, opening the batting. Here comes Chris Jordan. He has really got a lot of bling round his neck. Short ball, which is well played by Miller as it rises on him down into the ground and just behind square on the offside. Morgan fields. There's a single. 28 for 2.
Liz Yates's geography knowledge of America is certainly better than either of ours.
It should be. She comes from the bloody country.
And she says Missouri and Illinois share a long border. Won't make it to Brooklyn tonight, though, as it's just him and that's a haul.
Oh, really? Is that going? What sort of direction is he going in? Sort of northeast. Northeast. Okay.
To Brooklyn from.
Okay. Well, we wish you luck in your pursuit of getting home. Here comes Jordan. Oh, lovely slower ball, which de Villiers, I guess, picks ultimately, but not enough to be able to force it through the offside. It's a little bit of a mistimed drive, and back to the bowler, no run.
Messenger says, on the second day of summer, my true love sent to me 2 suntan lotions. I think we're going to get 12 of these.
What's got with you, Messi, What's he up to? He sent us another picture, has he?
He sent us... Oh, something to do with the Royal Ascot considering relaxing the dress code.
Oh yeah, they did. They were going to let men take their jackets off. I mean, for goodness sake! Now, AB de Villiers doesn't seem to know where this is. It's down the leg side. He's trying to turn it with the angle, and he's mistimed it. It's jumped up onto his body. It's popped out on the offside. But for a moment, he wasn't quite sure where it had gone.
Messages again. On the third day of summer, my true love sent to me 3 ice-cold lagers.
Oh, now that's an idea.
Well, we've got them there. We've got some Heineken.
I keep telling people, you've got to bring bottled beer. Canned lager is horrible stuff. Does no one understand this? Or am I just particularly picky? Another slower ball way outside the off stump. Has a big drive at that one, de Villiers, but he was completely fooled by the pace at 65 miles an hour and failed to make contact. It dribbled through the keeper.
I think, Hendo, it just means that people end up bringing cans so that they don't have fewer to share them around with.
Well, the thing about cans is cans are cheaper generally, aren't they, than bottles? Yeah, I think that's what it is. The cheapskates in this organisation. But if you are coming on at any point, bring bottled beer. If I can sort of merge that into your consciousness. Ring at 5 on the offside for Jordan is in again. Another slow ball, but this time it's spotted by de Villiers and he drives it over the top of mid-off. It's 1 bounce and 4 runs.
There's not one boy for me. I must have 2 or 3. I need 4.
Spoiled a pretty good over from Jordan. Ended up going for 6, but at that point he'd only gone for 2. It's been very good. But I guess, you bowl that as a surprise ball to de Villiers. He may not pick it. You bowl it 3 times in a row. Eventually, he's going to pick it.
I think for excessive light
excessive leg.
That has happened before, isn't it? I'm thinking, is it Dickie Bird and England West Indies?
I'm thinking,
that was Manchester.
Old Trafford,
Old
yeah.
Trafford.
Wasn't it something
It was
to
the
do?
light off the window.
That's right. There was a fan light that was open and it was reflecting the sun, so they had to go off.
Pointing at it.
I didn't think to put just put some covering over it, like a towel or something. You'd think these days they would probably have the wherewithal to do that. And coming to the crease is a man we haven't seen a lot of. We did see the odd appearance in the Champions Trophy. It's this man.
I beg your pardon, but Farhan Bahadian has a name you just can't begrudge. I just don't know why friend and foe unite in calling him Fudge.
Fudge? Is he really called Fudge?
Yeah, no,
I
it's a
didn't know
nickname.
that. I didn't know that. That's. I must have listened to that jingle 2 or 3 times, but hadn't picked up on that bit. Wood will continue. He's got 2 wickets now, and a lot of responsibility now for AB de Villiers. Hasn't got a lot of batting to come. I don't know anything about Saley, the wicketkeeper, who's due in next. 2 slips and a leg gully, it appears. Is he going to bowl short? Yes, he is. And Bahadian did very well to just jab that down from in front of his face. It was almost a reflex. He seemed to be slightly turning his head away from it, but he got his bat or glove up there. And
He's done
dropped it down.
exceptionally well there, the batsman, for his first ball. To be honest, if that had gone looping up to gully or something, it would be saying again how he had absolutely no chance of playing that, and somehow he has, because it's absolutely jumped off a length.
Well, Wood has bowled. In fact, he's done well because he's got the top of the bat on that, actually. It didn't fly as high as glove, but an interesting approach from England. Here he is again, back of a length. He tries to pull, and his hit on the thigh pad, the ball just drops out into the offside and there is no run.
He's too quick at the moment,
It's
isn't
too
he?
quick for them at the moment. And do you remember that England play? Well, it must have been the second ODI when he absolutely pinged Hashim Amla in the grill. Do you remember that? I think it was the second one, which was far too quick at that time for him, and it was an evil ball bouncer, and he can do that from quite a short run up. It's very difficult as a batsman to get your mind tuned as to how quick he's going to be off that shorter run up. Getting the
also,
rhythm is quite hard.
Given that this is generally slightly slower wicket than we think it is, he's obviously skidding it through somehow.
Yep, here he is again in short ball. Pulled this time by Bahadian, but it doesn't go with anything like the timing and power that he had hoped. It brings him a single through square leg. Score moves to 33 for 3.
Great Jeff Boycott shot there.
Yeah.
Take one and have a look at the other end.
Yes, indeed. Not a bad idea.
Ben Ingham has joined us. He said, "Evening, guys, just tuned in. Where is Faf for South Africa?"
He's looking after his wife or partner who's about to give birth.
Oh, congratulations.
There you go.
He also says, "Evening, could work out a great game for Mason Crane coming on with a few wickets already down."
Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, will they get him into the game sooner or later? I mean, what would happen if we just bowl them out and he doesn't get a go? It seems a bit of a waste of time, doesn't it?
Well, they'll open the batting with him. They have to.
Yeah. Go on, son, have a game. We need, for your match fee, 10 quid. How much is it for a match these days?
That's how much it is for my matches.
10 quid.
And mine,
but we are
yeah.
pretty village, so maybe it's more in other teams.
Full toss driven by de Villiers up to mid-off. Doesn't beat the fielder there, so there's no run. He's got 19 of the 33 runs. Bahadian has 1. There'll be a change at the end of this over. 1 ball to go. Shall we have a 3-person change? People out there in the green room, if you're listening, hopefully you are, so you know what to do.
I will squeeze in message as his 4th day of summer then. On the 4th day of summer, my true love sent to me, 4 fans are blowing.
Here comes Wood going wide on the crease. Another short ball, which seemed to worry de Villiers a little bit, but he managed to get out of the way of it, leaning forward. That's the end of the over. 5 gone. It's 33 for 3. It's time for a change, so we will be on the move.
Che Guevara.
I'm not Fred to. I am not Fred to.
Exactly. You okay there, dear? As we watch Jordan coming into bowl. De Villiers 27 off 29, Behardine 22 off 21, and they need to score about 100 off these next 10 overs to make a true game of it, we think. And we are changing.
Sangakkara, Joseph Stalin, Douglas Jardine, Robespierre, Darrell Hare, Vladimir Lenin, O'Brien Kevin, Guerrilla Cricket.
Yeah, 62 for 3 at the halfway mark. Not quite as good as they might have thought. This is turned round the corner by Behardine. There is a man there, and they've attempted a single, even though it's gone straight to the man who's about 15 yards from the bat. And they've completed the single as well. So good running, I suppose, if a little kamikaze. What happened? He picked it up. Was that Morgan? And he had a shot at the stumps, and he would have been gone by about 5 yards, and he missed. I don't know why Butler didn't try and do a Dhoni and shovel it. But
it's the wrong side of the wicket, isn't he?
Perhaps. Dawson in again, bowls. It's flat, and it's played quite nicely through extra cover. The man from deep cover is going to come round. It's going to be an easy 2 runs to AB de Villiers. Takes the score up to 65 and him to 29.
It's quite fun, these 5 over changeovers, isn't it? It keeps us on our toes in the green room.
It's too much like hard work on a day of 34 degrees here in London, which is about 90 something in old money. Dawson bowls again, and this is
tell you exactly, isn't it?
Well, it's times 9 fifths and add 32.
93.2. This is dinked into the leg side. The bowler fields. It's no run.
Well, it's got to be 0.8 something, doesn't it? Because it's times 9 fifths, and you're adding.
No, it's 1.8 to 95.
Right.
Dawson left arm round. This is a little bit shorter. De Villiers goes and heaves it into the leg side, out to the man about 20 yards in from the boundary at Cow. They take a single, 66 for 3. De Villiers has 30. Do we have any more tweets? It's difficult to get through when Dawson is bowling, but let's try.
Tony Bishop says, a win for the middle at last, but no Darrad tonight, so I don't get to hear his jingle. Sad face.
This is played off the pads by Behardine. He didn't play it slowly enough that they could think about 2. He went out to deep mid-wicket for 1. Yes, Middlesex demolished Yorkshire earlier this afternoon, as they tend to do, with frightening regularity, I have to say. I think they've won 5 of the last 6 games against them. This is a full floaty ball. It's actually a full toss by the time De Villiers drives it up to long on for a single. End of the 11th over, 68 for 3.
Well, I'm enjoying my first taste of Mason Crane in an England shirt. So there's nothing more exciting in a cricket match than watching a new leg spinner bowl, particularly bowling for his country. He's done pretty well so far.
Yeah, that's... well, as Sophia said earlier, he's only taken 3 wickets in T20s.
He has. His record doesn't particularly sustain his inclusion, does it?
But I mean, you know, if he'd gone for 4.5 runs and over, it wouldn't matter how many wickets he's taken. But it still seems a little bit.
Well, he's gone for
on
about
the low side.
He's gone for about 9.2 and over in his 5 T20s.
It's
so
not all
far.
wickets that count. It's
but as a fellow leg spinner, I'm very much prepared to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Anyway, Crane starts a new over, and this is driven to extra cover where it's fielded by, I don't know who that was. Anyway, it's no run. So we've got 2 out of 3 leg spinners on comms at the moment.
I have called leg spinner in my time.
Deliberately? As Crane comes in and bowls, and this is, I thought it was going to be a full toss. So there's a nice little bit of dip, which means that it bounces just before it gets to the batsman, technically known as the half volley. It's driven up to deep mid-on, and the bowler, for some reason, chases it all the way out to mid-on, but it's still a single.
It's that keenness of the 20-year-old, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Woy Pom says, good evening, back from midweek happy hour. Have I missed much? Oh, he's a bit pissed as well.
You've missed 69 runs, 3 wickets.
Explosive start from Mark Wood as well.
Crane into Behardine. Again, it's very floaty, and it's driven up to deep mid-off, where Chris Jordan fields, and that's just a single.
It's, well, if you're going to bowl the right way, it's to be full rather than short.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. You've got to err on the side of depth rather than shortness. Does anyone know why? Either of you two know why Rashid isn't in the squad?
No.
This is dinked into the leg side by De Villiers. He was slightly beaten in the air, but he still managed to muscle this out to a wide long on where David Willey fields. They come back for 2 runs. I think he was, as I say, he was beaten by the unexpected flight of that ball, but still managed to muscle it out over mid-wicket. It was a bit annoying for the bowler.
Well, some of the players were rested for, like Stokes was rested to manage his knee.
This is a full ball. It's actually a full toss, and de Villiers drives this up too wide, long on. They take one. That's all they're going to take. Willie feels. But Rashid was playing in the county championship game. Not very well, but he was playing. Which is a bit odd.
Juliet Clancy is with us and says, well, just tuned in. South Africa already 3 down. Justin won't be happy. Do we know who Justin is?
Justin's a friend of hers who was going to come into...
Oh, he's wrapped on the pad. That's a ludicrous appeal because it was going to maybe hit the leg stump of another
beside
set.
him, appealing down the leg side.
Anyway, it hit the pads. It's no run, and that's the end of the 12th over. Crane has gone for 18 runs off his 3 overs. South Africa 73 for 3, and they need to get a bit of a shift on. Any tweets?
Dave Wood says, evening all, just come home from work and delighted that you can ease my boredom. Well, we're delighted to ease it for you.
Yeah.
Big Neil
Orally,
says...
certainly.
Big Neil says, you sound like a blonde I went out with Natalie, is it you? I don't know if he's talking to you, Fred, or either of us.
That might be the sea mistress.
It might have been.
She's not blonde.
I suspect as much. Nestle Boy says, Gorilla Cricket, are you not on the Facebooks tonight? Well, we're not, sadly, for everybody involved.
No, we're not, because the computer that we use for Facebook Live doubles up as the Bears' personal computer, so we don't always have access to it.
If you were to have access to Facebook Live tonight, you'd see 3 very sweaty gentlemen trying their best to explain a game of cricket.
Yeah.
Not sweat anymore.
So, 12 overs gone, 73 for 3. What are they going to make? Any guesses? Let's go around the room.
I reckon they'll make 140.
And that won't be enough, will it?
It shouldn't be enough.
I'll go with 162.
Okay. Dawson is going to bowl his final over. He's gone a very miserly return. He's gone for 12 runs from his 3 overs so far. He's bowling left arm round. This is cut square of the wicket on the offside. There is a man who has to come round from deep cover, so it's an easy 2 to de Villiers. He moves to 37 and 75 for 3.
Where are you going, Fred?
I'm going to go for 168.
168.
We're going to have de Villiers is going to have a bit of a crack.
You've seen this lad bat before, haven't you?
I have, but unfortunately we don't get to see him very often because he doesn't play much cricket. As Dawson bowls again, and de Villiers doesn't try and hit it too hard, can't beat a man at short extra cover. It's a dot ball. He's how old is de Villiers?
30.
He's not old enough to not be playing the amount of cricket that he should be. This time he makes room on the leg side, tries to heave it over mid-wicket, but it goes to deep backward square leg for a single.
I managed to play 2 games at the weekend. It almost killed me, but
that's tough.
To do it.
That is a little bit tough.
How are your figures, Jace?
6 overs, 1 for 36 on Saturday, in 256 for 3. That wasn't too bad.
Well, yeah, that's all right.
And 8 overs, 2 for 75 on Sunday.
Down the wicket comes Bahadi. He drags us into the leg side, out to cow corner, just a single.
But I will qualify that as saying we had 10 players and we were playing against Jason Roy's club, Reigate Priory.
Are they all as brainless as Jason Roy at the club?
No, they're a nice bunch of guys, but they're all good cricketers.
Yeah. Dawson, 2 balls left of his spell. He's only gone for 16. He makes some room, does de Villiers. He cuts this through the offside gap, out to the sweeper, just the one. This has been a very good spell from Dawson. He's not giving it much flight. Crane is, but Dawson is sending it through pretty flat.
I think the 3 early wickets and fairly long boundaries as well as stopping these 2 from going after him.
Perhaps the last ball of Dawson's spell, and he can't do anything with this other than find short extra cover. That's the end of the 13th over. South Africa is 78 for 3. De Villiers is 39 from 41 balls. Behardine has 26 from 27. And Dawson's going on for 17.
And pace off the ball is obviously making it hard for them to time anything.
Yeah, as I said, Dawson and Crane will have bowled, will play all their home cricket at the Rose Bowl because Hampshire don't play anywhere else where this game is taking place. So, it's good for them to be bowling on home ground in front of a home crowd. Any tweets?
We've got some more tweets in, yeah. Paul Kemp suggests that we use some Patreon funds to get ourselves aircon. We're so strapped for cash, we can't even get the aircon, and as a result, we're 3 sweaty gentlemen, which Juliet Clancy says is an image to conjure with, I'm
going to sit in the car at the half-time break as Crane to bowl his last over. It's flighted outside the off-stump. It's driven as far as Roy at extra cover, and it's was there a run?
Nestle Boy in reply to Juliet Clancy says, you have seen us on Facebook, right?
He's 33 and a third, the naked gun.
Mason Crane bowls. It's a little bit shorter, but it's been dinked up in the air. There must be a mid-off. No, it's just gone over his head. Oh dear, that just landed about 5 yards outside the circle. Well, mid-off is back, and Roy had to come from extra cover. He couldn't quite get there. He fell a couple of yards short. And they've taken a single, but that's a bit of a let-off for South Africa.
I mean, any time you get a leading edge playing a pull shot, hit it straight up in the air and aren't caught. It
actually felt well inside the 30-yard circle. I got that wrong. This is down the wicket comes Bahardine. He tries to find a gap in the offside. He can't. It's another dot ball. This is a good over from Crane. He's getting a generous hand from his home crowd.
Nestle Boys informing us that his feet really pong. That's
cheers, Nestle.
Informative and value add as always.
Have some toast. Crane comes in and bowls, and this is it's flayed out to deep cover for a single. But how long since the last 4? I don't think you played the jingle since you've been sitting there, have you?
No, I haven't. It's been a long time.
Been a long time. Been a long time. Been a long, lonely time.
We should probably get that as a jingle
for something not happening for a long time. Crane in now, right arm over the wicket. Again, de Villiers is trying to drive it. He can't time the ball at all. It goes into the ground and back to the bowler, a dot ball.
James Richardson and Akil Pandya both letting us know that Rashid's not in the squad. He was left out so he could play some games for Yorkshire.
Right. Didn't do Yorkshire much good. Crane bowls. This is a filthy full toss, and de Villiers doesn't do enough with it. Oh, he does. He finds the gap between mid-wicket and wide long on, and it's gone to the boundary. A bit of a disappointing end to Crane's spell, but it's 4 runs.
You gotta have fun. You gotta have fun.
I say disappointing. It's not really disappointing because he's gone for 24 off 4 overs, which is a cracking return in T20 international cricket.
It is.
But 20 would have been a damn sight better.
When you're bowling at AB de Villiers as well.
Yeah.
I mean, but that is the classic leg spinner's last ball of the over, the one where you
or sometimes second, third, and fourth ball of the over as well.
Up a bit of pressure.
Yeah.
If you watched it, it was sort of spinning horizontally rather than along the axis towards the batsman.
Well, you've got good eyes, Jason.
Well, I've got my reading glasses on, that's what I can see.
Well, 14 overs gone, 84 for 3. My 168 is looking a little bit high. We've got to change of bowling because Dawson bowled out at the other end. It's going to be the chat with a horrible jingle. Do we have to play it? I really don't like this jingle.
Mutton dagger, old blind Bob, hanging Johnny, fishing rod, tallywhacker, pocket rocket, one-eyed trouser trout. Ding dong, ankle spanker, pork sword, engine cranker, hairy hot dog, Davy Crockett, let them all hang out. Pet names for genitalia, you know the girls think of them and you gotta love them. Pet names for genitalia, there's always something silly about little Willie.
He comes in and bowls, and this is tucked into the leg side by Bahardine. They look for 1, they think about 2, they're going to make 2 quite comfortably because it went into that untenanted area near the umpire. Perko, Mog, if you're listening, a new jingle for David Willey would be great. Yeah, cheers.
Nestle Boy is now telling us that former Wimbledon champion Boris Becker has been declared bankrupt, apparently.
As opposed to just morally bankrupt, which he was before.
Yeah. Now morally and actually bankrupt.
Right. Okay. Well, sorry, Boris, if you're listening.
Payments.
If you've got some time on your hands, come in and do some guerrilla cricket commentary. We're seeing pictures of people hugging beyond the boundary. I'm not sure what that's about. A bit too warm for that. But Bahardine faces up to Willie, and this is driven straight to the man at mid-off in the circle, and he got there pretty quickly. So there's no chance of a run. They didn't even get 2 yards down the wicket. 86 for 3.
Neil Franklin says it's a cunning Middlesex plan. Rafiq is better than Rashid. Make Rashid available.
Well, even when he's available, he doesn't always play for Yorkshire. Remember that game at the end of last season where he says, "Nah, I know it's the championship decided, but I can't be asked." Bahardine will be facing up to Willie. He's on 29 from 31 balls, which is not great. Willie in and bowls, and it's short, and it's pulled up in the air. Has he got enough on that? I think he just about... Oh, he doesn't. It beats the man on the boundary and lands inside the boundary for 4. That's a bit odd.
4. Good God, yeah.
Was he in the right place, the fielder?
Crane just couldn't get high enough.
I'd like to see Crane fly. I'd like to see Crane fly. It went over his head, but yet landed inside the boundary.
It's always a bad moment when the ball goes over your head on the boundary for 4.
Yeah. he did jump. He went with one hand, didn't actually get anything on it. I'd like to see where he's supposed to be fielding, because if he's come from 20 yards away, that's fair enough. If he's somewhere in the vicinity, that's pretty poor.
Not great spatial awareness there. He should have known where the sponge was and whether he could jump backwards.
Yeah, I mean, he must have been supposed to have been on the boundary, because you don't put the man on the 2.
You do sometimes for longer boundaries, because you don't want them to give easy 2s out to that person. So anyway, Willie in again to Bahardine, comes down the wicket and he gets an inside edge. It's a very good stop by Butler, who stopped what I thought was definitely going to be 4 runs off the bat. It was a bottom edge. It went into the leg side. They take a single, but a good bit of work from Butler.
It was a very good piece of work, that, because he had to change direction very quickly. The ball was just shading it down the offside, which is where his feet would have been going. Yeah. And eventually had to take a couple of steps and dive to his left.
That's unlucky. He just lost that when his elbow hit the ground.
No, it didn't. Well, it wasn't a catch. I mean, he had it in the webbing, but it went a little bit away from him. They took a single. I think they'd take that every day of the week. Getting only 1 run off that. England would be delighted that that's only 1 run. Anyway, de Villiers is 44 as he faces up to David Willey as we look from the umpire's cam, as this is dinked over the leg side out to the man at Cow, who is good 15 yards in from the boundary. Sends the return in, 1 run to de Villiers, 45, and it's 92 for 3.
Juliet Clancy says, after a grim day, the Willie jingles made me laugh for the first time today. Thank you very much.
I think we're going to have a changeover after this ball. Cockers is coming back, and is he accompanied by anyone else? Sophia's coming back, and I'm coming out, presumably, having done 2 stints in a row. Oh, yeah. Okay. We'll have a change round after this as Willie bowls to Bahardine, left arm over the wicket, and this is driven or out to cow corner for a single. The end of the 15th over. South Africa are 93 for 3. De Villiers has 45 and Bahardine 35.
Che Guevara, Sangakkara, Joseph Stalin, Douglas Jardine, Robespierre, Darrell Hare, Vladimir Lenin, O'Brien Kevin, Guerrilla Cricket.
Yes, welcome back to Guerrilla Cricket. We've had 15 overs so far of South Africa's 20. They won the toss and batted. They're 93 for 3. And we've had a bit of a changeover. I'm joined by Will and Sophia, both of whom I've heard commentate before, but I've never actually met. So both of you, it is lovely to meet you.
Do we live up to your expectations?
Well, so far it's been about 7 words, so absolutely, yeah.
It's always weird, though, when you meet someone that you've listened to. So I was at some horse trials the other week, and the guy, I couldn't tell you his name, but the guy that always commentates every single horsey thing has got such a distinctive voice. And then there he was talking to me about the weather, and I was there this is so weird to see a face.
It is Cornelius Lysett.
Is that the one that does everything?
Yeah,
it will be him. It'll be him.
Bit older, bald, Aldertonian.
Yeah, that'll be him.
Yeah.
But no, it was ridiculous. It was very odd.
It's a very strange social situation to find yourself in. Yeah.
And I was there oh, sorry, I'm meant to be, I'm too busy listening.
Wood comes in for the first ball of his 3rd over. His first 2 were phenomenal, and Bahardine defends it back to the bowler for no run. No, it is a very odd situation, because you find yourself with commentators that you haven't met in listening mode. Yeah. You're naturally in listening. Your brain's kind of switched off, because you're not listening to every word that a commentator says. You're trying to use it as kind of background noise sometimes.
Yeah, and particularly when it's someone that's been around literally and does everything, is such a monopoly on something.
Yeah.
So you're definitely not used to having normal combos.
Wood in again. This is pulled by Bahardine out towards the leg side, and the square leg's not going to get it, but the mid wicket is. It's David Willey launches it left arm back to Jos Buttler, and Bahardine will take 1. He moves on to 36 from 36. De Villiers is 45 from 46, so uncharacteristically running at a strike rate of below 1 a ball.
He's in treacle. It's a treacle, AB to B.
It's a treacle, indeed. Well, he hasn't been in form, of course, but also I think South Africa losing those 3 early wickets, thanks in large part to Mark Wood, who came up with a fearsome opening spell of 2 overs, had the South Africans jumping around all over the place, and is back now to bowl against AB. Charging in, AB moves to the leg side and then the offside, and ends up working a straight ball out to long on, who's Chris Jordan, who fields, and they will take 1. Interesting from de Villiers there. That feeling like he had to move around a bit, try and put Mark Wood off his stride. He moved a couple of strides to the offside and then back to the leg, kind of the dummy. but South Africa get one. They're 95 for 3.
He doesn't look very comfortable, does Mr. de Villiers? He's very red in the face. He keeps sort of heavy breathing and spitting rather.
Which is a very odd thing to watch, again, because I'm so accustomed to watching the man who got 147 from 44 against the West Indies. And this is attempted uppercut from Bahadian, but he misses. He gets very close to getting an edge in it. He doesn't. It's taken by Butler. There's no run.
Well, Hendo in the green room was sort of saying, well, it might not just be out of form. He's getting on a bit now. He might, his fitness might be. Yeah, but he's just not cope. These South Africans, they're just not able to deal with this hottest wet day.
He's not that old though, de Villiers, is he? He's
ancient for cricket terms.
He feels like he's been around forever, but it wasn't that long ago. But that he was quite young, so he can't be that old.
It wasn't that long ago that we were all quite young.
What is he? Don't remind me. Wood wide of the crease, and this is hooked by Bahadi, and this is going to go all the way over Sam Billings for one of these.
One toke over the line, sweet Jesus, one toke over the line.
He's finally managed to time one as Farhan Bahadian. This one doesn't stick in the pitch as much. It's gone behind square, behind the deep backward square leg fielder, all the way for 6. And they will hope South Africa that can spur some kind of recovery, because it's all been a little bit sedate for a 2020 innings so far. Potentially, once again, the result of that opening spell from Wood. It also suggests that the boundaries are a little bit longer than one might have seen in the Champions Trophy so far, as Bear waves us goodbye. This one is cut by Bahadian out to the sweeper, and they will take one, think about 2, but sensibly, because they don't want any comedy run-outs this time round to South Africa. Turn that down. Last time I was commentating, it was the innings where South Africa had 3 comedy run-outs.
Oh, how exciting for you.
All in the same innings, and I was on all of them as well. It was incredibly exciting.
So you're the common factor here?
I think so.
We blame you for...
But blame or encourage repeatedly, and the South African fans certainly were blaming me last time round, which I thought was a little unjust, because it was very funny. We weren't adding to the comedy just because it was South Africa. I think that could have been any one-day team, and it would have been hilarious. But no, it just happened to be South Africa last time round. But anyway, we won't go on about that anymore, because that is all done and in the past. As Willie comes in for his last over, that is on a good length outside off stump, worked away to a fairly deepish cover just on the edge of the circle. There'll always be one there. South Africa move on to 103 for 3.
Couple of tweets maybe. Way Pom Pom, is Behardine breaking a set of teeth in for a horse? Maybe do we have to read that one? Sorry.
Mark Wood's the horse. No one else can be the horse on this pitch.
The First We Take Manhattan is written in to say that he's joined us, and it's very cold and dark and wet where he is.
Hi, First We Take Manhattan. Nice
Willie in again, and de Villiers tries to pull this, but ends up with one hand off the bat. It sort of squirts away all the way down to long on. I think they will just take one. They do. South Africa 104 for 3.
Lost and Lonesome, when I met the Grillers, he's called us Grillers, G-R-I-S-S, clever, it's all clever stuff, at the jet lag, and I agree, it's so odd hearing in person people you only know from comms. Fun, though.
Yeah, no, very fun, but very strange. I think it's when you have a completely off-piste conversation. If you're talking about the sport or something, or whatever that person's thing is, then it's sort of more normal, but when you're just literally exchanging pleasantries...
Now this time, Bahadian moves out to the offside, and he's been hit in a very painful area by the appropriately named David Willey.
I see what you did there.
I think everyone saw what had happened there. This one was on a good length. Bahadian took 2 steps to the offside. He tried to work it away, I think, over fine leg, possibly, or at least over kind of backward square leg. He hasn't really got anywhere near him. It's a bit of an ugly shot. It's a very ugly shot, in fact. He's fallen over. It's hit him in the unmentionables, and he's just taking a few seconds at the moment, I think, to recover from that.
There's no jingle for that.
I think he was I think he was 2 inches high. Thank goodness.
Maybe just
he inside edged it onto himself as well to make.
Willian again, same ball, same shot. This time he has got hold of it, but he will almost be caught. I think is that Crane again out in. It is Mason Crane out at deep square leg. He's ended up stopping it at least. They will take 2. No, they won't. They'll take 1. South Africa 105 for 3.
Well, that time he was too far back. So he needs to sort it out.
I guess just to annoy Fred, we could keep playing the Willie jingle every time it happens.
Does Fred not like the Willie jingle?
It doesn't like the Willie jingle, no.
Why?
Possibly cheap entertainment. One could suggest.
Dagger, old blind Bob, hanging Johnny, fishing rod, tallywhacker, pocket rocket.
Bahadian in again to the offside, and he's hit this one much more nicely, and it is all the way over the top. There's no fine leg. Wouldn't have got there anyway for one of these.
Now if a 6 turned out to be 9, oh, I don't mind. Oh, I don't mind.
It is also his 50, which means I need to find this one.
Yeah, possibly the reason that Bahadian played it so much better was it was actually de Villiers. He was a better batsman than Bahadian is. Played a lovely shot. Feet wide apart again and smears it down to long on, who throws it back in. They will take one, and South Africa definitely starting to accelerate now. We didn't get predictions from you guys, I guess because you weren't commentating, it's fair enough, on where they're going to end up. It's a bit unfair because we were predicting at 12 overs and you guys have only got 3 overs left. But where do you think, what is it, 117 for 3 overs left?
I've got £100 on it, if that helps.
£100?
What have you got?
And Bear's got £5, but we've just gone for high lows. Bear got less than 160, so he should definitely get paid out. I've got less than 154. I should be okay. I think it's looking like about 145, isn't it?
Something like that. I went for 162.
I don't know. I know what a par score here is, about 170. If you were in, there was a really close game between England and I think it was Sri Lanka. Where I think England scored sort of 163, or whoever batted first scored 163, and they only just missed it. The batting second team only got 161.
Well, if they make 160 from here, South Africa will have done very well because they'll need 48 from 3. It's possible with de Villiers on strike.
Yeah, I'm going to go for that. Let's go for it. I'm going to believe that suddenly this form...
Well, that's not fair. You can't go for 160 because I've got 162. It's that thing that people do when they're playing this game and,
they're not
and they want to be really annoying.
Three, are they? I think
no.
to make it a good game, they need to score at least 145. At the moment, England are absolutely pissing it, I think.
We have a change of bowler. We've got England's death bowler coming back on. Hasn't been in the side for a while. Are we going to jingle him up?
We will do.
Is he in there?
He's
here he is.
He's right there.
Looks like
Chris Jordan's back will make him cry. More England caps will soon draw nigh. Or if they don't, then it will seem he'll wish he'd joined the Windies.
Jordan in its full outside off stump, and that is the perfect delivery at this stage of the innings. It's just inside the wide market, so it won't be called a wide. De Villiers had backed away to give himself room to the leg side, but can't get anywhere near that. Because it's about 2 bat lengths away from him now.
It broke all our hearts, didn't it? He bowled that magnificent over in the penultimate over of the World Cup final when I think he went for 3 or 4, and it meant that Stokes had to defend 19, and we all thought... and he got a dot ball similar-ish to that off his very last ball, which was so critical because it kept Samuels off strike, but it put... Carlos on strike.
Jordan to de Villiers again. De Villiers stays where he is this time. This is straighter, and de Villiers tries to work out onto the leg side, gets a little thick inside edge all the way down to the wide fine leg. They'll take 1, and he will move on to 55 from 52. Now, what do we think about how de Villiers and Bahadian are batting? Because on the one hand, they put together a sizable partnership after South Africa went 3 down early, but in the modern game, 55 from 52 and 45 from 42 are not going to win you many matches, and that takes up a lot of the innings.
Hasn't been a good stand. They should be 7 or 8 wickets down now, and 25 runs more.
But do you not think that they're sort of trying to bat sensibly, hold the person that's most likely to provide stability and really go for it at the end is de Villiers? How, in the form that he's in, he cannot give his wicket away cheaply.
I think that's right, but I guess the test will be how they do over the next 16 balls. Jordan in again, that's a Yorker on off stump, and it's worked away to the point fielder who fields well, does Mason Crane, I think that is, who has come in from his boundary duties and doing a decent job at point for his country.
When you say he can't give his wicket away cheaply due to the form he's in, but he's not in great form, is he?
No, that's why I'm saying if he gave his wicket away cheaply, it would just be a complete waste. You'd be there going, well, why did you do that? Like, you're obviously, what's going on inside your head that you're just not... There's not much depth in this squad.
And that does happen as a batsman
Africa.
When you've been out a few times kind of cheaply, particularly if you've played a few shots. You want to feel bat on ball, you want to be in. This is full and straight again from Jordan. De Villiers works it away to the long on field. It's a good over so far from Jordan. David Willey returns it. They'll score 1 and they'll move on to 116 for 3.
And don't forget, whether or not it's conscious or subconscious, the fact that he is AB de Villiers and he is expected to do so much, particularly in this South Africa side that doesn't have much depth compared to the depth that they are used to of recent times. Even though AB is the kind of guy that actually he wouldn't be thinking about that at all, it will weigh on his mind because he's human, as he's proven in the Champions Trophy.
Jordan again, full toss, smeared. If I tell you what, if the cover fielder, Owen Morgan, had been in the usual cover spot, he would have caught that. But because we're in the latter stage of the innings, all of the fielders inside the circle are on the edge of the circle. And so it's just kind of looped up a couple of metres in front of him, and he's taken it on the bounce from Bahadian. But once again, Bahadian failing to time the ball, failing to get it off the square. And Jordan, I think, is looking to bowl some low full tosses. That's not quite the ball he was looking for. He'll be pleased with it, that it hasn't gone out of the park.
We have a new jingle for Liam, Dawson. It's more imperative than a new Willie one.
Jordan in again, and this is driven from Bahadian, and it's gone to the mid-off fielder this time, again, on the bounce. Would have been taken again if the mid-off would have been in, but I think England rightly have got the fielders back on the circle because South Africa have not yet got a competitive total.
And that was Barry Goodman, and Lost and Lonesome sticks up for the Willie one as well, saying, after a grim day, the Willie jingle has made me laugh for the first time.
I think lots of people like the Willie jingle.
Well, I'm a Willie.
You're a Willie.
My surname is Cock, so
we've got two Willies in one seat.
And my initials are WC.
Oh, my word.
So,
your parents.
Yeah, they love me very much. Yeah. You see what they did there.
Yeah.
And my grandmother was Fanny Cockerell, which is also good.
Yes.
Replete with wonderful names.
She
in
wasn't
the Cockerell
born
family.
Fanny Cockerell, of course. She became it, which is even better.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
It's even. Did she seek out the surname?
I think
she...
so. Yes.
Early form of Tinder.
He was a playwright, so it was on a lot of plays all over North London.
I rather like that idea that it could be some kind of, well, not Victorian, but Victorian form of Tinder, that rather than kind of swiping left or right, you just go around a list of people finding names that would be vaguely funny.
Yeah, exactly.
Mark Wood in, outside off stump on a good length. This is cut away towards the point boundary. Will it get there? Almost. No, it's been stopped. It's been stopped well. Is that Mason Crane again? No, it's Sam Billings this time, out on the cover boundary, who has to run round to his left. And he did that thing where you pull it back, but as you're pulling it back, you also drag it back towards you. Fortunately for him, he didn't drag it back all the way to the boundary, and he's managed to stop forward. It's a good piece of fielding.
I've just realised this. For someone that's relatively muscular, which is what Sam Billings is, he's got very small arms.
He does. He's kind of makes up for it, doesn't he? I think there's a lot of work in the gym.
Yeah, exactly. But those arms are...
Wood in again, short of a good length, and smeared away nicely from Hardy, and he has timed that one. It's gone all the way to the boundary for one of these.
It's Nissan She. It's Nissan She.
And not only that, but again, it's the second one of the innings of one of these.
Oh, yes. We've got another 50.
How will Mark Wood respond? He's wide on the crease, and that's down leg side, but Bahadian is equal to the task. He's played a beautiful shot. He's moved to the leg side. He's played it straight as a die over the bowler's head for one of these. A contender to Morris earlier on with his straight six for shot of the innings. But whenever you see that high front elbow keep its position like that at the end of the shot, you know a batsman's liked it.
Yeah, they're doing it for the photographers, aren't they?
They are.
Let's get on the front.
Wood in again, 2-4-6 so far this over. This is high in the air, but will be caught, I think. No, it's dropped short of the fielder at deep back and square leg. Willie, with frustration in his arms, throws it back to Butler. It's another 2 for Bahadian, and it looked for all the world like that was going to be caught, but again, just evading the fielder in these long boundaries.
What a strange innings this has been. 2 wickets off the first 7 balls, and then 1 off the next 103.
And then also the fact that there's actually been quite a lot of not great building. It seems like England really can't cope with the fact that these boundaries are where they should be.
Wood wide of the crease again, and this is a full toss, a low full toss on the leg side, but Bahadian's moved the leg side again. All he's got is a thick under kind of toe of the bat on it, and it squirts away down to the mid-wicket fielder, deep mid-wicket for 1. Ooh. 7 balls left of his South African innings. They need to
score 18 off these 7 balls to make a game of it.
I have my I've had the Tracer Bullet jingle requested, and the mouse is over it, so I'm just waiting for a 4 or a 6.
Are you going to play it on any 4 or just a 4 that goes like a tracer
Not
bullet?
anyone. I was even even a 2 would be acceptable, I was told.
Oh, a really good one. I'll
Wood
say
in again, bouncer, and De Villiers makes space but can't get anywhere near it. He looks at the umpire who's not going to call a wide, and I think correctly.
I think you can do it because the ball was bowled very quickly and he missed it due to pace.
Because it was like a...
That went like a tracer bullet.
The ball bounced like a tracer bullet.
Wow.
As well.
The first time we've ever done a dot ball for the tracer bullet jingle. This is what's called cutting-edge, pioneering guerrilla cricket.
I think so, and I was told off last time I used the tracer bullet, but it was an inside-edged 4, I think. And, I had about 4 people tweeting at me saying that wasn't a tracer bullet.
That's a sackable offence, actually. You get your wages docked for that.
We don't have wages.
Yeah, you see what I did there?
And now Patreon,
we
everybody.
have to increase our Patreons if we do that kind of thing.
If you want to go without caffeine for a week and give us some money,
give us some money.
You should.
Let's have a bet between the 3 of us. How many is this last over going to go for? I'm going to go for 8.
Oh, I'm going to go for more than that. I'm going... There's going to be 1 6. There's going to be 1 4. A couple of weeks. I'm going to do what you did to me. I'm going to go for 11.
Right.
It's only fair.
Yeah.
Okay, and 50 quid in the pot from all of us.
No.
Jordan in last over of the innings, and Bahadian hits a low full toss down to the extra cover field, a deep extra cover, and they will take 1.
Nigel needs it to go for less than 29 to win his 5er back. I need it to go for less than 23.
Both of those looking good bets at the moment. Wait, what was the 100 quid that you mentioned?
Was that under 154?
Under 154.
We should get another jingle in because we've got a 100 partnership between Behardine and AB de Villiers.
Been one of the worst 100 partnerships I've ever seen.
But there's no time to get the Centurion. I'll do it after the next ball.
Jordan in to de Villiers expectantly. De Villiers to the offside, ball to the leg side, all the way over the top. There aren't any fielders there anyway, but they wouldn't have got it, and it's one of these.
Let's talk about 6. Let's talk about 6. Let's talk about 6. Let's talk about 6.
That was real class there.
That was classy.
That's AB de Villiers, the AB de Villiers.
He's warming up with 4 balls to go.
Yeah. Woo!
And it counters the let's bowl full tosses low outside off stump plan.
But that's because he is... he's an intelligent cricketer.
He is a heroic cricketer. Last time I was on, I was talking with people that had some sense of who the best-looking cricketers in the South African team were, and I kind of guessed at AB de Villiers and was told off because apparently that was wrong as well. Jordan in again, that's another full toss, but he can't get hold of this one. Straight back to the bowler, there's no run.
What do you mean by best-looking?
I think...
Are we talking about sort of, would you swipe left or right, or are we talking about their cricket?
I think the whole package, but I think mistakenly I was putting too much of it on the cricketing ability.
As a girl, I can tell you, not many girls like cricket, in the sense that if you lead with cricket, I wouldn't.
This is where I've been going wrong.
She might walk off.
They do
Yeah,
all
if you're
the time.
like, hello, I'm a gorilla, they're like, what? And then you're like, no, don't worry, it's cricket.
No, it is vaguely threatening, but either way you spell gorilla, to be honest. Jordan in again. This is not the full toss, though, outside off stump. De Villiers tries to hoik it over mid-wicket. They're coming back for 2 to the mid-on. They will get them. De Villiers stays on strike. He's on to 64. South Africa are on to 140 for 3.
Big Neil writes in, I think he's talking to me, you sound like a blonde I went out with. Natalie, is it you?
Well, this is the thing. I think he tweeted that in when we had the 3 of us boys on the sofa.
Oh, sorry.
We were wondering whether he was talking to Fred. If so, I feel sorry for Natalie in a way. But,
no, I feel sorry for Fred.
Yeah,
We've never met Natalie. We don't. She might be very strange.
Quite possibly. If she's going out with a gorilla listener without
oh, don't ostracise them all.
No, I suddenly realised. Please, Patreon. Chris Jordan in again. This is short. De Villiers has made space outside the leg stump and played it out to the deep cover fielder, and he will take 1. Has there been 11 off the over? So what do they start on? 130.
Yeah, 11. Yeah, my 8's looking dodgy. Well, you need a dot ball, dear. But in fact, whoever said 11's 1.
Wait, who are you referring to as dear?
The person who said 11.
I said 11. I'm dear. Thank you very much.
I need to save 13 runs off this ball to get my 100 quid back. So it could. Yes, I often see 11 off the ball when they bowl a beamer and it goes for 4, and then they hit the 3 ball for 6. So if it was 11, I would still be tense. But
Chris Jordan trying not to bowl a beamer. That's a good length outside off stump, driven like a tracer bullet, one might suggest, through the cover to the extra cover fielder. It's fielded. They'll take one, so the 12 from the over. South Africa are going to finish their T20 innings having won the toss and batted on 142 for 3. We will play maybe the tracer bullet jingle because I think that ball deserved it. It's 3 seconds
never
long.
Get back again.
That went like a tracer bullet.
Tell you what, I think England. Hi,
Knuckles here. In the meantime,
he's definitely trimmed his beard.
Summery. I love this. Knuckles wearing a beautiful pink polo with some shorts with the number 14.
Putting us all to shame. I'm quite jealous actually because I've come down in my kind of work shirt and.
Knuckle works in advertising, everybody.
I wish I could wear shorts at work. It would be absolutely lovely on a day like today.
Anyway, the cricket, I don't think this is enough. 142.
It's an absolutely terrible total. What do you think, Knuckle? Thumbs up or thumbs down for South Africa? What they've done?
Thumbs down.
It's all very well
down.
to put on 100, but if you're going to go to win a ball. He doesn't like it. Knuckle does not like the way South Africa have behaved today.
Waste of an innings. Ooh, damning.
Are England going to win by 7 wickets in the 17th over?
Indeed. South Africa 142 for 3. JJ Smuts out first ball, none from 1. Golden Duck. Hendricks 3 from 2. AB de Villiers 65 not out. David Miller 9, caught Butler, bowled Wood, and Farhan Bahadian 64 not out. So that partnership, de Villiers and Bahadian, I think dividing opinion on the gorilla sofa.
Was it a Jeremy Corbyn or a Theresa May partnership, or maybe a bit of Donald Trump?
Was it a Theresa May or Jeremy Corbyn, or was it a coalition of chaos?
Yeah, it was a bit of a DUP partnership.
Knackler's answered correctly. It's a bit of a Tim Farron, we think.
There was just between overs 6 and 15. There was too much milking. I don't care that they were 2 or 3. You can't. Milking is as good as it's death by 1,000 cuts.
I'm inclined to go. I think it was the perfect 50-over partnership from that position.
They were playing. They had very much a 50-over mindset, and you could argue slightly selfish from AB for protecting his sort of own rep a little bit.
And also, I mean, that 6 he scored right at the end there was a majestic shot, but just show us a few more. Start doing that in the 14th over, not the 18th.
I don't think he's right. I really don't think he's right. He's been huffing and puffing. He's been bright red. He's been constantly. He must have a pool around him.
I think like Austin Powers, he slightly lost his mojo.
It is an
fat
odd
bastard.
Fat bastard. Yeah. AB de Villiers, fat bastard. Official.
Smells a bit like a baby.
Ooh.
You're too young for all of these. You don't remember.
Yeah, Austin Powers.
Yeah.
Never seen it.
Austin Powers is getting too close.
No. I wasn't allowed to.
You're kidding.
Yeah,
sure, and then I've never been intrigued.
Really
since.
good. With lots of good clips on YouTube.
Good. Okay. Okay. I'll do that.
But that is. We did not call ABW Fat Bastard. Fat Bastard was his enemy who took his mojo from him.
Yeah.
So we'd like to clear that up right now.
Yeah. We still love AB. He's got a sensational record. Should we love and leave everyone? Put some highlights on.
I guess we should.
It's New Zealand versus Australia, the World Cup game that I'm going to be pressing play.
Is that the one that finishes in 23 overs, or is it a different one?
Not a clue.
Okay.
Just
That's the really exciting
one. On.
There were 2. There's a really good one, and there's the damp squib. So choose wisely.
Yeah, everyone will have to listen and then tell us which one we put on, because we won't be listening. We're going to be messing around in the green room until we see you when the next inning starts. Bye-bye for now.
Hashtag McCullum aside. Pom is official. Brendan McCullum is made from titanium. Ewan Innes, given that the next World Cup would have 45 group games rather than this year's 42 with 4 fewer teams, the only reason is the BCCI. Really? The Indians trying to control cricket? Surely not. And finally, Hamza Butt. At the minute, this is disappointingly one-sided. It's almost like the top teams are trying to be uncompetitive to piss the ICC off, which I really like that idea, that they're just meeting in like the back room before the game and going, do you want this one? No, we'll give you this one, as long as we both qualify and just make the ICC look like insult.
We'll start trying when the quarters come around.
Okay, we got a new batsman. It's this man.
Kane Williamson, like a king of ping pong. Kane Williamson.
First ball's over his head through the keeper, no run.
Kane Williamson, like a king of ping pong. Kane Williamson, like a king of ping pong. Kane Williamson.
So do you think the next World Cup is going to be in the Gulf and have to be moved to the winter?
No, the next one's in England.
The next one's in England. So say that again. So what? They're having more games and less teams.
Yeah, because it's a round robin.
Let me find the tweet.
They're not doing
Given that the
thing
next
again,
World Cup would have 45 group games rather than this year's 42, with 4 fewer games, the only reason is
4 fewer teams.
The BCCI.
It's a 10-team World Cup, but they're all in one big round robin. To
No,
start.
are you joking?
That's how it's working.
That's not happening. No, it's not happening.
That's what the original format was about.
That's not happening.
Are they changing it?
They've gone back.
So what?
Well, they're going back to what they're doing now. Apparently,
What, 10 teams? How's that going to work?
That was in the news today.
Really? Oh, so they're going to like what? 2 groups of 5?
No, I think they're just going back to what we've got now.
Oh, what? So they're going to let the associates in again?
Dave Richardson. I know Dave Richardson did say that the World Cup format was not set in stone because actually this one was supposed to be 10 teams.
Yeah, and then they all protested, and then it got changed.
Rightly so. I mean,
well, you've seen I'm assuming you've all seen and signed the petition that's been going around to scrap the.
And it's interesting.
That's full, and on the pads of Brendan McCullum, it's gone out to long leg.
I was saying, do we really need to bother mentioning this because it's so obvious? A few weeks back in the Ireland West Indies game, and someone made the very good point, I can't remember who it was, that yes, we do, because it was this public peer pressure that saw it change once, and there's no reason why it can't happen again.
That signature has had 15,000 signatures, and it's only been up a few days, as started by Nick Sharland, who's one of our listeners.
Oh, brilliant.
Good man.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was just obvious, wasn't it? But at the same time, you've got to scream it out, otherwise these people don't hear it. Which fair point.
So you're kind of saying Guerrilla Cricket saved the World Cup. well done, Nick.
Well done,
well done, Nick Sharland.
I can't actually find anything about a format change here on Cricinfo. Can't see anything.
Yeah, so we're meant to get that one confirmed before we get everyone's hopes up.
I'm sure. I thought something on a tweet somewhere, but maybe I'm wrong.
Okay. Yeah. Kane Williamson faces up Johnson bowls, a short ball. Fanny asks, would it be given as a wide?
Surely that was a wide.
No, it's not been given.
Oh, it was a wide down the leg side, wasn't it?
Mercy. Yeah, I can't find anything about this.
It's close to no ball too.
I'm going to have a poke in and see what we can. Can any listeners out there, if you've got any information on this, any Sky sources, do let us know. And get your 406 picks in, please.
Yeah, it's 407 now, so we want them in. That would be good. I think Ireland have done themselves very proud. I've enjoyed watching Afghanistan.
The UAE have been pretty decent.
The UAE have been very decent. Mitch in full on the legs and chipped down to a very fine leg by Williamson. Don't know if it came off the pad. No, it came off the bat. It's been given to him. 4 more runs, 45 for 1.
I love Johnson's bafflement that a leg side
half volley
has gone for 4, and he's sitting there going, how did that?
To the shortest boundary in world cricket.
And you're thinking, mate, jeepers.
And he also has got 3 slips in. I suppose the only way they're going to win this game is take lots of wickets. And they've only got just over 100 runs to do it in now. It's possible. Mitch bowls is wide of out of stump. They're going to go through for a quick singles. A shot at the stumps doesn't hit. Good run. Would have been quite close with a direct hit. But they get through 46 for 1. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to play a 10-team tournament, this is the problem, isn't it? If the World Cup got reduced to 10 teams, it's pretty much a Champions Trophy, which is a very good.
But the Champions Trophy is a good tournament because it's different from the World Cup.
Exactly, I like the Champions Trophy because it's quick.
Yeah,
and it does exactly what it should do, which is a lot of knockout games, which are quite exciting, and no one gets that much of a life in it. And then,
but it's not. The whole point is it's a bit of fun. Yeah. It's a bit of fun in between. They actually used to have an ICC knockout tournament to tried once.
But at least every game means something.
I think every game means something for someone in this World Cup. It's just
well, not for the bigger teams. That's the thing, isn't it? That's Brendan McCullum plays that up to cover, and there's no run.
No, McCullum's making it mean something for him. He's sort of he's batting almost against himself.
True. He's got freedom.
We're finding out here the really useful, informative thing that if you bowl short outside off stump to Brendan McCullum, he actually can hit the ball quite hard and far, which was something I didn't know before. So thank you very much for channeling that.
And I'd imagine if you bowl sort of roughly top of off, he doesn't do quite so well.
Yeah, shock, absolute shock. I'm stunned.
Mitchell, a rattled Mitchell Johnson comes in to bowl to Brendan McCullum, who gives himself in the room outside the leg stump. It was full, it was on the stumps, and made no difference to B-Mac. Smashed it straight past Mitch, all the way to the long on boundary for 4 more runs.
That went like a tracer bullet.
Seriously, Johnson's very lucky he didn't get a foot on that because it would have taken it with it.
Yeah, he's not taking no shit, is Brendan. I do like Brendan McCullum.
That takes balls. Even at this stage of the game, it's just That man just is fearless.
Some batsmen do this when they get injured.
He doesn't do it when he's injured. He does it all the time.
I think he's doing it's very hard to tell, but he seems to be doing it slightly more than anything.
Maybe he wants his record back for the fastest, whatever it is, he has in limit over
50?
cricket. 50, maybe?
He's got to get 18 balls. He's on 31 of 13, so if we're honest, he's slacking on that.
4 sixes, it's done. But he's just played that out on the offside.
Yeah, exactly. I told you he was slacking.
No run.
No news on this associates thing. Nice to see plenty of articles up about, keeping them in, but nothing in terms of a change of heart from the wisdom people in the ivory towers. Maybe it was just your imagination. You wanted it.
I mean, Scotland have probably been the poorest team in this tournament.
Yeah, that's true.
No, because I didn't even know it was going to be changed, and then it was like, well, it's not going to be changed, and I didn't know it was going to be changed. So.
Tweets. So we've got sitting in the garden drinking tea. Beautiful.
Full ball, outside off stump, driven, not particularly well timed. Came in and gets himself a single.
Oh, sorry, I thought that was between the apologies there. And we've got a lovely picture sitting in the garden drinking tea. Another one at home watching the cricket, but presumably with Channel 9 muted from Roy Pond. John Appleby was with the drinking tea one. Arthur Dent, improve this World Cup format by winning the Group B I-Protent. I don't know what that means. Have group winners...
Important.
I think... Oh, okay. Have group winners go to semis and second/third place to quarter-finals.
Oh, like rugby playoff type thing.
Yeah, I quite like that.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I think it's a little bit overcomplicated. I like straight quarterfinals. I think it makes more sense.
I like straight knockout games. I mean, because they actually mean something. I mean, so much limit overs cricket means pretty much nothing worldwide. Bang. Brendan smashes that bat down the track. I think...
Stark got a foot on it, I think.
He got a foot or a hand or a leg. He got hit with it anyway. And it's no one. Brendan becomes 31 of 40. Strike rate of over 200 yard a game.
On the associates, just in case you're interested, India are playing the United Arab Emirates in 2 hours and 16 minutes or so. See whether the UAE can cause a bit of a stir there. Add to associate campaign of this game.
That's a full, very fast ball by Mitchell Stark. Shin high full toss on off stump, and you can't get it away.
That really would be a shock.
And
yeah, it would.
That would be a massive shock. Can't see it happening, but
No. Oh, but if it did, wouldn't it be glorious?
But
just
what I like,
BCCI.
what I've noticed about the UAE and Afghanistan, I haven't really watched much of Bangladesh. It's just a kind of Pakistani attitude when Pakistan are mercurial. Sort of, we're just gonna, we're gonna go for it, whatever, And whereas. Oh dear, that's a it's a full toss outside off stump. And Brendan McCullum tries to smash it out the ground past the bowler, gets the bottom edge which runs through the slips down to a very fine third man for 4 more runs.
He could have hit that anywhere and did it directly behind him.
Yeah. They've got such a carefree attitude towards it.
I think Afghanistan's batsmen certainly do. I think the UAE are a little bit more solid.
The Afghanistani batsmen don't appear to understand the concept of front foot play. They like to hang back.
No, we had a whole load of them at our cricket club, and they certainly don't do that.
Yeah.
They like to hit the ball out of the ground.
Yeah, there's a lot of aerial hitting.
Yeah. But I like that. It's cool, It gets them where they want to go. Played out to square leg by Brendan McCullum.
It has to be said, their pace attack is
pretty good.
Outstanding. Hamid Hassan is a superb bowler.
Is that Rambo?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's quick.
Shapur Zadran with the run up will probably be about 20 yards back in the stands on this ground.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're an entertaining cricket team. They play every single moment of the game at 100% intensity.
When they take a wicket, they're hilarious.
They're
so happy.
Hamid Hassan's terrible attempt at handstand.
It's just really nice to watch. There's no baggage there and no fear, and I just enjoy watching it. It's good.
There's no egos in that team.
No, not at all. And Ireland
Ireland is a very professional outfit.
Yeah, they are. They're pretty good. Johnson comes in and it's played out through third man with a straight bat by Williamson. He just guides it down there, picks himself up a single, moves the score under 56, less than 100 required, 96 now required.
This isn't quite as pyrotechnic as the other day.
Things you find on the internet. when trying to find stories. I have found the ICC Cricket World Cup 2019 England Twitter page, which currently has one follower, and it is following 3 Twitter accounts.
Village.
Are they other ICC
There's
accounts?
no tweets at all whatsoever.
Is one of the accounts they're following the ICC World Cup 2015 account?
Probably. No, it's Cricket World Cup, which I suppose is 2015. Yeah, that is the official account. Yes, 2015. Ahmad Shahzad and Haider Bakashtari.
No, who are those dodgy fellows? That's pulled. Is it going to go all the way? No. Just bounce inside the boundary. Pulled by Brendan McCullum behind square on the leg side. Fine leg is up. And so he picks up 4 more runs.
I can tell you all about Haider Bakashtari. He's a simple human, lover, cricketer, teacher, Pakistani, Muslim, fan of pack cricket.
And
why himself?
So, sorry, that account's following them?
No, they're following him.
The official
2019 World Cup are following him.
And one of them is Ahmed Shahzad.
Ahmad Shahzad.
Why the hell? Oh dear, that's gone all the way over the top. For one of these!
When I get this feeling, I get sexual healing. Oh, there she goes. Lovely.
B-Mac's not holding back. Was that a one-handed catch in the crowd?
Dropped.
No.
Dropped. Tipped over by the guy in front of him.
Bastard.
There was a child behind him.
Oh no!
Oh, the guy in the white shirt who couldn't have made the money got in the way of the other guy.
Think it's got to be a clean catch.
It's got to be a clean catch, yeah. It can't bounce off anyone. You've got to catch it clean, straight out of the hand. Bang, that's gone over fine leg. Fine leg is up. Another 4 runs to be back.
There was me saying it wasn't pyrotechnic enough.
He's
2 plus 2 is the remember.
Gary Naylor is on, not tweeting at us, but tweeting.
And we're back. That seemed like a very long break for a T20, didn't it? Anyway, England's batsmen, Jason Roy and Alex Hales, opening batsmen, are waiting to come onto the field. The South African fielders are already out there. You want light? You want light? It's there. There's a light switch there, right next to the door. See, I'm very technical. I can find my way around a room and find myself a light switch every now and again. And all is well and good. I'm Gorilla Hendo, and I'm alongside, surprisingly, because we weren't expecting him, but he's here because he can't stay away. He loves it so much. It's Knuckle Pandy.
Hello, hello, hello.
And it's Jason G on my right. And Jason G is going to jingle up the batsman.
Duckworth Lewis loves you. The clouds part for you. Nothing stands in your way when you're a Roy.
Well, apart from 2 bowlers.
Hails, the gang's all here. What a extra weekend, what an extra weekend. Hails, the gang's all here. What an extra weekend now.
We kind of think that the 143 that England need to win at 7.15 runs per over ought to be done fairly comfortably. But you never know, as the man who goes away says, way. Anyone joined us for the second session on Twitter?
Lots of people confusedly thinking about tweeting into highlights. Juliet Clancy says it's when you hear your old tweets being read out, you realise...
Yes.
Oops.
Indeed. That is true. I've never done it myself, but I can imagine.
Muttley's with us. He says, woof.
Woof.
Here in time for the second innings, at least.
How's things in Cardiff, apart from the fact that 1,100 people are about to lose their jobs there, aren't they? Tesco. You know, Tesco, I mean, do they not make enough profits? Do they have to make 1,100 people redundant? Am I getting too political? Who knows?
No,
indeed not. I like to look at the most recent profits of Tesco's and work out whether they really do need to streamline their...
CEO's salaries and bonus awards are always a good one in that as well.
That'd be quite fun as well. I'm not quite sure why they suddenly need to make 1,100 people redundant just like that. Anyway, looking like he's going to open the bowling.
He does bowl filthy spin.
He opens the batting, and it's like being at school. Opens the batting, and he gets to open the bowling. It's the slow left arm of JJ Smuts.
Smart, I love it. The adventures of a slut. Oh, I'm a market they can't glut. I don't know what compares with
Smuts.
Smuts it is. Left arm round the wicket.
More Tom Lehrer jingles, please.
Is that Tom Lehrer? I like that jingle. It's quite good fun, isn't it? I think this is a good idea, taking pace off the ball. Maybe they think that the pitch is a little bit slow. AB de Villiers has just batted on it, so he would be able to judge that. So Smuts is going to come in between bowler and wicket. Bowler, I said umpire and wicket. He's in. Bowls to Roy. Hits on the pad. There's a big appeal for LBW, but to my mind, that was going down the leg side. And it's given not out.
For an opening batsman, that's quite a nice action. There's a bit of loop to it. He gets through his action quite nicely.
It's a bit Imad Wazimi.
It's not quite Imad Wazim. Imad Wazim is in 2 stages.
That's true. Here he comes, lolloping up to the crease, and down the wicket comes Roy. Meets this rather uncomfortably because he didn't get to the pitch of the ball, but he's got enough bat on it to send it towards deep mid-wicket and come through for 1. England are off the mark. They need 142 more.
Mutley says, too hot here again, hence the tardiness. That's the first I've heard of Tesco redundancies.
Oh, yes, I heard it on the news tonight. 1,100 redundancies in the call centre, apparently. They said we're making it more effective for the customer by
having less of it.
By having less customer service outlets, which seems odd. Anyway, here comes Smuts again into Hales. Hales reaching for this a little bit, gets a thick inside edge. But one of the men that they've got out is at long on, so there's a big, long, lazy single for him there. They go to 2 without loss.
I think they're out at long on and cow.
Long on and cow, interesting.
They are.
Judging by
the fact that I couldn't see anyone saving one in front of square leg.
There is a ring of 5 on the offside, saving the single, and Roy drives into that ring towards mid-off and finds the fielder. There is no run.
JJ Smuts the fact that he's been called JJ is annoying me because his name is John Trevor. John Trevor. He's JT Smuts on the Cricket Info scorecard.
Yes, indeed, JJT. I think it's JJT. Shorter, turned into the onside by Roy. They'll take 1. They might even think about coming back for a second, but in the end they decide against it. So England move to 3 without loss.
I think we should all call him John Trevor.
John Trevor. Okay. JJ, it sounds like something out of the Waltons, doesn't it?
Well, John, is
John,
it?
John, wasn't it? John in the Waltons?
John Boy.
John Boy, yes, of course. Here's Smuts again, last ball of the over. And Hales is making a bit of room outside leg stump and then punches it through that vacant mid-on area and picks up another single. So a reasonable start for England. 4 for no wicket after 1.
From Darkest Peru says, missed the South African innings as torpid weather drove me to take a nap. Here now with some coffee.
Oh, very nice.
The strange caffeine habits of an academic.
Oh, yes, indeed. Well,
and Mutley says, just reading it now, 1,100 Cardiff jobs to go and 250 jobs created in Dundee.
Well, that'll help them because that's not much of a commute, is it, really? I wonder, the other thing you've got to look into with that is how much cheaper are they going to get them in Dundee than they were going to get them in Cardiff?
850 jobs worth cheaper.
Well, that as well, but then they might actually end up paying less as well.
How many Cardiff jobs how many Dundee jobs can you get into a Cardiff job?
Well, exactly. Wayne Parnell is going to open the bowling, so we're going to have pace, left arm, fast medium from the pavilion end and spin from the other end, and this is his jingle.
In that big body, ride 2 lanes, and I'm grinding hard like I'm fucking Wayne.
Parnell.
Is that the same route?
Wayne Parnell.
Is that the same route as the Smaximum jingle?
Oh, it does sound like it, doesn't it? Down the leg side is first delivery, which is signalled as wide, which is what they can ill afford, South Africa. They're not protecting a particularly large target, so any extras that they give to England in terms of runs and further deliveries is not a good thing.
Wide. I think it's the same rhythm. I don't think it's the same song.
Yeah, it could be that.
Because I'm pretty sure the Wayne Parnell jingle is by Lil Wayne, which would make sense.
Lil Wayne. Parnell, short ball, pulled high into the onside and away from the man who's now, one of the men out for Wayne Parnell was at deep square leg. He had to make a lot of ground round the perimeter to get to that, and he couldn't quite get there. It's 4 runs.
You gotta have fun, put it in. You gotta have fun, tell me more.
Pretty effective top edge.
Yep.
after this ball. I have a few more tweets. They're flooding in.
He's in. That's a much better ball, but it's nicely driven up to mid on the edge of the circle, but it went too firmly for there to be a run.
The man who goes way pom pom. The Afrikaner getting to open the batting and the bowling. Hello, welcome to 1967.
Oh my goodness me! There you go.
So that was Eddie Barlow, wasn't it?
Eddie Barlow. He was a good player for Derbyshire.
Andy Ward says the most famous JJ was in the Cannonball Run. He was dynamite.
No, JJ Williams, JJ Abrams.
JJ Abrams, yeah. This bowling spell brought to you with lens flares. Smouty says enjoyed listening while running in the pouring rain. That sounds quite nice, actually, Dan. Blaming you for the slow pace, though. # too distracting.
Parnell in again. He gives himself room outside the leg stump and then pushes firmly to mid-off. Hales did well there. He could have just let it go and gone for the big heave, but he watched the ball and pushed it up to Moseley, who's... he's the wicketkeeper, isn't he? So,
Felaqueo,
I think it was, yeah. Mangalizo Moseley is, I think, how you pronounce his name. Moseley.
Muttley says, how many Cardiff jobs can you fit into it? Sounds like the beginning of a joke. And the man who goes way says way.
Way! So we've got a ring of 4 on the offside and a slip. A man at mid-on, a man at short fine leg, and he's mucking around, Hales, going one way and t'other to try and upset the line of Parnell. He doesn't really achieve that, and all he can do is guide the ball to short third man, and there is no run.
This is almost as much foot movement in this over as he displayed in his entire Test career to date. Because for a man who
cutting,
I know what you're saying. It's not cutting; it's an observation. There are lots of great batsmen who didn't move their feet, and 2 of my favourite cricketers of all time didn't move their feet very much. Just Karthik and Sehwag.
Oh God, yes, that's absolutely true.
But you know, he's being funky at least.
He is. He's doing it again, and this time he waits for the ball and then steers it into the offside, but places it beautifully. Bahadian eventually gets there. It was almost as if he was accompanying the ball towards the boundary there. He was running alongside it before he could actually get down and stoop and pick it up. But they got back for 2. Hales moves to 8, 11 for no wicket.
Speeding over the practice wickets.
It was indeed. It wasn't going like a tracer bullet. Because we've discovered that tracer bullets go in the interval. We discovered that tracer bullets go apparently slower than the normal bullets. What is a normal? I'm not sure what a normal bullet is. Anyway, here comes Parnell. Final ball of his first over. Hales tries to clip this away off his legs, but I think it's come off the pad towards square leg. And the fielder is very worried. They might come back for a second as he's come all the way from short fine leg, and eventually he's done enough to prevent them doing that.
When you think about it, it does make sense because they're expending energy on being bright and lit rather than actually propelling the thing forward.
Yeah, with a normal bullet, you don't see the path.
Yeah.
Barney Hayward says, whose Twitter avatar is a lovely picture of a cat. Yorkshireman and YJB fan, but I've got everything crossed for Jason not as good as Bairstow Roy after his sad summer so far. I think there's quite a lot of cricketers you could say not as good as Bairstow for and not really be insulting them.
Well, let's see whether Roy can find a bit of form as an England T20 opener. Here comes Smuts in round the wicket, bowls to, Hales initially, who flicks this away quite comfortably into the onside, and they come through for a single.
Jeff Perkins says, all England awaits the monsoon.
Oh, I don't think it's going to be a monsoon this week, is it?
Sort of.
There has been talk of a sky clearing and a humidity clearing thunderstorm tomorrow.
Yes, I think there's been a few up north, from what I hear. Swept really well by Roy. He's absolutely picked that up, and it's been brilliantly caught by a man about 20 rows back in the crowd, and he's milking it for all he's worth. And that was good skill from 2 Englishmen. I'm guessing he's an Englishman. Of course, he might be a South African. But it was beautifully picked up, that one by Roy. Maybe that will give him the confidence, although we've said that before. Oh, that was not very pleasant. The follow-up, I'm afraid to say. He gave himself room and then tried to clobber it with a cross bat, but had no timing at all, and the ball just rolled back to the bowler. Smuts is at the end of his run. Here he comes again. Roy's playing silly buggers with his footwork again and flicks this away into the onside. They'll come through for a single.
Do you get the impression Jason Roy doesn't rate John Trevor Smuts?
Yeah, kind of.
But that was a hell of a pickup.
That was a beautiful sweep, wasn't it? That's a really good...
That's right on the length for a slog sweep, though. I mean,
yeah, but
you couldn't have bowled it any better for it.
But it's a beautiful pickup. It's a beautiful pickup.
Muttley says, I keep hearing smutch, which is a variant of my nickname. One of my mates calls me #confused.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yes, I can see Muttley and Smuts. This is defended back to not Muttley, but Smuts, and there is no run. He's got one ball left in his second over. God, he's got through this over quickly. Here he is into Hales. Hales is down the wicket, didn't really get there, but has just got enough on it to clear the infield in the covers. And it's full of Schweo going back to field that, and they'll get through for 2. Hales goes to 11. Roy has 9. England, after 3 overs, chasing 143 to win, are 22 without loss.
We are out of tweet.
We are out of tweets. We have a tweet emergency. So if you're out there in the Twitter sphere, get tweeting. Otherwise, we don't know what we'll do, really.
Have we discussed the fact that Anil Kumble is now no longer the Indian coach?
We haven't, but I mean, it's an extraordinary development. I mean, I know leading into the Champions Trophy, there was still a lot of talk about it. And then I understood that he was going to go to India. He was going to go to the West Indies for this follow-up tour that they're doing there. But he resigned, didn't he? Actually,
he resigned while they were on the plane.
Oh, he resigned on the plane.
Well, he wasn't on the plane, but the rest of the team were on the plane when he resigned, because he stayed back in London to have a meeting.
Ah, okay.
I think at that point they may have known something was up.
Where's the coach? Where's the coach? He's in coach class. No, he wasn't. 22 for no wicket. Parnell will continue.
It doesn't say a great deal for Virat Kohli's character that he after this ball.
Parnell bowls down the leg side, and that will be 4. I'm not sure whether he actually got bat on that. It may have just come off the thigh. It has indeed, but it's brought England 4 runs. I mean, it's obviously something that we can talk about in the future. We don't always have a lot of time in these T20s, but it does seem odd. And apparently there was the latest thing I read was that Kohli abused him a couple of hours before, abused in a sort of verbal way, before the start of the Champions Trophy final. Anyway, Parnell, down the wicket comes Roy. Oh, he's absolutely connected with that. And that has gone quite flat, and quite long, quite far, back into the 15th row for one of these.
Smack it in the air. Smack it in the air. Legs move it side to side. Smack it in the air. Smack it in the air.
You've got to be really quick on your feet to come down the wicket to a quick bowler, and then power that to the long on boundary. That's an absolutely superb shot. And that's Jason Roy at his best. Let's hope he stays in this vein of form. Here comes Parnell again. Short ball. Oh, what's he done there? He's flapped at this and somehow got a bit of an edge on it. And it's flown high, but also fine. And down the boundary for 4 more.
Jingle doesn't fit the shot.
No, it doesn't. He had absolutely no control over that shot at all, really. I don't think. He got a little bit fortunate, I would say. So 14 runs in all from this over. 3 balls gone. In again to Roy. Roy flicks this away wide of the man at mid-on, who puts in a valiant but vain dive, and this will ultimately trickle to the long on boundary, the wide long on boundary, for another 4. Well, England are making short work of this. 40 for no wicket. We're only 4 balls into the 4th over. And Roy is looking on song.
I bring exciting news. Jason, if you could poise yourself over an old favourite jingle of ours, Dutchbird Kate has met a certain Irish Middlesex player.
Oh, the wonderful, who got 100 this week. He got a first championship 100 this week. Here comes Parnell. Left arm over the wicket. Roy forces off the back foot. Again, he finds the gap. Beautiful shot. And that is going to run away from the fielders in pursuit of it for yet another boundary. Well, including the 4 leg buys, we've had 4, 6, 4, 4, 4 from this over, haven't we?
And the last 2 have been absolutely caressed. That was a beautiful shot.
It's not often that you can say that Roy caresses the ball, but that really was a fabulous shot.
Well, he was starting to exhibit that in India in the ODI series there.
He was caressing a little bit more gently, was he?
Well, he seemed to be timing the ball nicely.
Tickling the ball.
So yes, it is Dutchbird Kate in the Lord's Tavern with
Paul Sterling.
Come on, Jason.
Tucked away.
Paul Sterling.
That's the one. Through mid-wicket. They're going to get 1. Are they going to get a second to Schweo.
Oh, that's just greedy. He's just nicked the strike.
He has nicked the strike. So hang on, 4-6, 4-10.
It's 19.
19 from the over. Well done. Parnell's bowled 2 overs, none for 26. England chasing 143 are 45 without loss from 4. That's 11 and 11.2 and over,
23.
Isn't it? Sorry?
23 potentially. There's no dot in there, was there?
23 from that over.
Did Parnell only go for 3 off his first over?
Hang on, well, that can't be right. Hang on, 4-6.
Oh, wait, the leg buys.
4-4-4.
Did he only go for 7 off his first over?
Oh, I can't add up. We need a calculator. Roy has 28 off 13 balls. Hales, a mere 11 from 11.
Muttley, in reference to Mr. Andile, says, can't we just call him Brian or something?
Brian.
Like the Chelsea fans who says Azpilicueta Dave.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh,
we just call him Dave.
Azpilicueta. I can actually say that name.
Azpilicueta.
Change of bowling. Out of the attack comes Smuts, and he's going to be replaced by this man. Like it. Hey, that's good.
Yep, I asked Mog to do that, and he did.
Did he do that all of himself? Is it a particular song?
It isn't. Yeah,
it's a famous.
It's a famous song.
Pelequeo, as per Nakul Pandya.
Okay, very nice. Here comes Pelequeo. Right arm over the wicket, bowling to Roy. Roy plays a ridiculous reverse sweep and is out LBW. Absolutely plumb. Why did you need to do that, Jason? Was it just coming too easy for you? He's gone. He really did not need to do that. He's just thinking that everything's going right for him tonight, and now it's all gone horribly wrong. England are 45 for 1. And Chile, I mean, it's not an obvious LBW. Say he could have got slightly outside.
He's been given out for the shot, hasn't he?
I think he deserves to be given out for the shot. I think it probably was just in line with the off stump, but it was. What a waste!
I mean, put it this way: you've got to be ballsy to. Actually, no, you can't review it yet because they haven't brought that rule in international T20s. But you'd have to be really ballsy to review that.
But that is just a real waste.
It's completely unnecessary. Yeah. It's not as though he was struggling.
No, he's playing some wonderful shots, some wonderful orthodox shots. And then he gets out like that. It's something wrong with the brain of Jason Roy, I'm afraid to say.
I mean, yes, although at least he got 28 of 14 before he did it.
Well, yes, true. But I don't know. It's up to him to make those innings pay, in a sense. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, he's had some fun. He's felt what it's like to actually time the ball again.
Maybe he was worried that Johnny Bairstow wasn't going to get a look in. But Johnny Bairstow has got a look in, and he's got a jingle that goes like this.
Johnny Bairstow's smarter than the average Bairstow. Johnny Bairstow's been this good since daycare, so all put on your wigs and let the crimson hair flow. I want the Pope to give him his own large prayer. Oh, he can hit the sixes, although it's so dark. He'd even run a 10 at Bradford Park Avenue. No other Yorkshireman can compare. I tell you, Johnny Bairstow's smarter than the average Bairstow.
In fact, the impact was umpire's call. It was hitting the off stump. We are shown. He's no other Yorkshire player can compare, really, apart from Gary Balance this year, really, I suppose. Scored a lot of runs as Yorkshire went down to a defeat to Middlesex today, an innings defeat. This is jabbed out square on the offside. First delivery that Bairstow has received. There's no run.
Been pretty much those two and Ben Code.
Ben Code getting loads of wickets. I haven't seen him. I don't know what he's like, whether he's good.
Yeah, it's kind of similar with Jofra Archer. He's taking a lot of wickets. I've only seen him in highlights packages.
Yeah, and in fact, I mean, there we were. I hadn't really seen Mason Crane until we saw him this evening.
Jofra Archer was the one that had that fantastic sort of meme right at the beginning of the season with a massively swinging ball that sort of aimed at leg stump. He takes that off.
Oh, he's good for knocking out 2 stumps, yeah.
Schweo in again, bowls outside the off stump, cuts, beautiful shot from Bairstow. No one's going to get near that. It's running out to backward point for 4 runs.
I've got a few tweets, so I'll talk over this. Rahul Nantaraman, who I believe is a Patreon fan supporter.
Hello, Rahul.
Tuned in and heard that there is a tweet emergency. There was, but you've all come to the party. Jeff Perkins says apparently India aren't Anil retentive.
Very. I mean, you're wasted there.
Very, very good. Wei Pom Pom says, I saw Smuts in domestic cricket here. Good season. And a non-playing captain like Brearley, apparently.
Oh, a non-batting captain, do you mean?
He says non-playing. But he also spells Brearley wrong, so...
well, there you go. For the Schweo in again, bowls to Bairstow, who swivel pulls, really. Doesn't get full value, as it were, for his shot. Goes down to long leg. And he picks up a single. There'll be a change at the end of this over. The 50's up for England, 50
Did we accidentally
for 1.
break our own rule of 4 over changes?
We did, actually. Yes, we did. Yes. Okay.
Derek Willis says, I'm slowly bringing around a fellow American to cricket. At what point do I introduce the gorillas? Now.
It's never too early for the gorillas.
THYNC says it's Peluquayo.
We were told it was Felashwayo.
I've heard of at least 5 different pronunciations of that name. He also says, this is poor cricket from SA. Hardest job in the world being a supporter.
Yeah, well, we find that quite regularly as England fans.
I think Pakistan and England fans can run you close on that one.
Yeah, but now Pakistan have won a proper tournament.
Just when you think they're shit, they win a tournament.
Yeah, exactly. And it never seems to work that way for England. They just remain shit. Felashwayo in again. That's how I'm going to pronounce it. It's flicked away through square leg. They'll get 1. This is 1 more to Hales. He goes to 12. England 51 for 1.
The Duke of Benningham says, with Yorkshire having a mayor, it'd be funny if YJB didn't get a bat here and could have played for them. I do like YJB. Sadly, not to be the case. Benningham says, follows up with just because it's Yorkshire, obviously. Christ Hequire says, in response to the picture of DBK and Paul Sterling, etc. I hate to be stereotypical, but he looks like the image of an Irishman after the taking of the drink. That or he can't tie a tie.
He does. I think he likes pleasures of the table. Short and left alone by Johnny Bairstow. That's the end of the 5th over. England chasing 143 are 51 for 1. Bairstow has 5. Hales has 12.
Just one tweet before I move into the mystery position. Peter Lloyd says, if we're serenading players of Europe for great achievements, the greatest ever jingle got his first class best yesterday. Hail Ravi Bob.
Take guard, man the barricades, patrol the cover boundary. At last the time has come, this is a cricketing emergency. Hear this call to arms for every cricket revolutionary. Take up your bats and stumps for the test match insurgency. At first they try to silence.
Well, what can we say? We have a change, and it's back to Sophia and Ed.
David, nearly.
I bet Ed's your middle name.
You got one of the syllables right. That's pretty much the second syllable.
The thing is about me is that I always get people's names wrong the first time. And then after that, it's emblazoned. Right, we have finally a bit of drama because we've got Imran Tahir, who's one of the great one-day bowlers in the world, and this one has completely bamboozled him. It's a waist-high full toss, and it's played down to short third man. He's got the Alice band in place. He's actually looking quite dishy. I think he's even got a couple of highlights in his hair, don't you?
I do. I will jingle him up, but he's got a long jingle, so I'll wait till the end of the
This one is mown to cow corner. Is there a man there? No, there isn't. Is it 6? Yes, it is, by a couple of yards. So Imran Tahir's work has started with an absolutely ghastly ball that didn't get punished, and then not a bad ball that got whacked for 6. And the drama of this match has almost been evaporated by it being quite so one-sided, and South Africa should apologise for the cynical way. Could you stop molesting my microphone?
Sorry, I'm trying to move my microphone so that I can actually talk into it.
And now our microphone tails are kind of having a kind of cockfight.
What is going on?
That microphone's a nightmare, that one.
It is. Right, now this one is on his leg stump, but it's slightly short, but the covers are there to field it, and there's no run. Any Tahir's jingles yet?
Still, we do have one. The thing is, I know I've got it. It's 26 seconds long.
Oh, that's stupid.
And I do like it. It's quite a nice soothing one.
All jingles no longer than 14 seconds, please. This is out to what fielding position that? Somebody tell me what fielding position
that's
that
long
is.
On.
Long on, but it was only just outside the D.
Oh, I just saw the bit at the end. I was looking at it.
It's not long on. It's kind of shortish long
on, or a deep mid on.
It's an invented position. And it went for singles just outside the circle. How about that? We see Joss Bartley, who can't spell either name, waiting to think of... He's not going to score 50 off 30 balls today, we don't think. Tahir bowls on the off stump, and this is played to the covers. Are they going to be able to get a single? Yes, they scamper a single because it went a couple of feet to his right. So 59 for 1 off 5.5.
Taken me basically the whole over, but I think I'm now in. I think I'm seated.
Yeah,
the microphone's
it's quite
in a good place.
height for you, isn't it? Because you're quite diminutive.
Well, I still have to hold it, otherwise this...
Yeah,
you do, and you can't move.
Maddening. They really need to sort themselves out. I'm actually writing a memo about the future of guerrilla cricket as we speak, and it's stuff like microphone heights that I really come down on like a load of bricks. This is played back to the bowler, and there's no run.
And the bowler is this man.
Wherever you go, whatever you do, I will be right here waiting for you. Whatever it takes, or how my heart breaks, I will be right here waiting.
Oh my God.
Imran Tahir.
Reminds me of being in the car on the way to school listening to Magic FM.
Yeah, or Heart.
Or Heart, as
That's
it
got a
turns
very
out.
heartness to it.
Yeah.
It's so nearly clever, that jingle, but the thing is marvellous, but too much of it. So
No,
that is
never too much.
26 seconds, yes. This is 2020 and we're all in a great hurry. Right, YJB is facing up. He looks as concerned as if England needed 117 to win the Ashes with 4 wickets in hand at the SCG in 6 months' time. But as it is, he's facing Tabriz Shamsi. Matches 61, wicket 60, so he's not taking a wicket a match, which is always the marker that you wish for in times of trouble and strife.
We don't have a jingle for him either, which is another marker that you wish for. So if someone can come up with a jingle for Shamsi, that would be fantastic.
84 needed, 84 balls. You, if you're OCD, you'll love it. Now then, are they going to come out for second? Yes, they do, and they get it quite easily because 2 people are at that weird, dysfunctional, short, long-on position, and they kind of both congregate on the ball, and they let 2 runs because it was the pace in lovely soft hands, I thought there.
And that's his first ball in international cricket, am I right, Shamsi? He hasn't played one day, has he?
He has not, no.
I would like to say now that Sophia has been up on an all-night bender writing her notes for today, and so we'd like to hear what she's got to say about
I
him.
definitely wasn't at a Korean supper club last night.
Wives, children, pets, can you tell us all about Shamsi, please? As this one is outside the off stump and is played out to deep cover for a single. What else have you got on him?
Well, in domestic list A,
Yes.
he has his highest score is 7, so not much of a batsman. He has 60 wickets in 60 T20s.
Wait.
Sorry, no, we're not doing list A. I'm doing T20s.
He's got a highest score of 7 in list A cricket. That's terrible.
No, in T20 cricket, I apologise.
Okay.
So slightly less.
And so
bad.
he has got the 1 wicket a match because that 61 that came up was including this one. So you can't get
good
him
point,
with
well
that.
made.
Yeah,
yes, but I still could argue it in court. This one is outside the leg stump and is played to a wider, short, fine leg for a single. So, and I'd like to point out that England's 84 off 84 balls is now 80 off 81, so they are keeping ahead of the run rate. Sickeningly tense.
I'm going to read a tweet, which I quite say I'm going to pause, actually.
Okay, because we have Shamsi. Yes.
He should be coming in.
Where is it?
Where is he?
We're on umpire cam. I feel like I'm Tim Robinson. This is short, a terrible ball, but there is a deep backward square, and it's just a single go.
Peter Lloyd, I say amen to you, because he says, if you want to write anything about the future of guerrilla cricket, surely a cheque is better.
Oh, don't worry.
Damning.
I'm on £4 a month, mate, and I'm thinking of raising it to 5.
Wow. Christ Tea Choir, I'll say after this.
But it's an interesting point he makes because money's all great. I think we need 50 grand to go to Australia or something. But we can have all the money in the world, but if we're not really tight on the things that our public and our listeners really want, and if we don't have straight signs behind us...
What they want is commentary. On that ball, which you failed to do.
It was a horrific long hop outside the off stump, which he very fortunately for the South Africans missed.
Well done.
This is on the off stump, and the bowler does amazing calisthenics, like a kind of pole vaulter landing in the pit, but it does save a single. And so it was a good over from Shamsi. That, can we tell anybody how many runs came off it? About 3, I think.
Christ Tea Choir has been in touch, saying, in baseball terms, Hales went down to fetch a slider, low and away. That's T20 in a nutshell. Cricket ball. I don't quite know what you're on about that.
What are we talking
How many
about?
separate sentences are there in
I have no idea. I was reading it relatively...
Wait, unless you were talking about Roy getting out, no?
I don't. What are you talking about? Christ Tea Choir. Andy Ward says, some Shamsi 69, surely.
Is that the number on the back of his...
I don't know.
Or is that a song?
What are the Twitter sphere people on about? I have no idea what you guys are
Brimful
chatting.
of Asher? No, it's not that. Everyone needs a bosom for a pillow? No.
No, we need something that rhymes with Shamsi and is in the popular song.
Shamsi, Shamsi, Yamsi.
We're just going to go for the alphabet, aren't we?
Yeah.
Young Johnny Bairstow is sweeping on his stumps, but he hits it, which is good. And I think he's found the gap here. No.
It did look like it, didn't it?
It was almost as if I'm not at the ground. He's got it for 2 because there was somebody coming around from mid-wicket to field that. He's got 2, and this 84 has become 77 or 7. If this continues like this, it's going to be 1 off 1, and we're in for one of the most exciting matches in T20I history. And this is played to short mid-wicket for no run, and now England need more than a run a ball. And Johnny Bairstow still, does he always look extremely concerned?
Of course he does.
Yeah, he does. That's his concentrating.
And now he's hoiked. It's an ugly shot. Is there a man there? No, there's not, because it's also cleared the fence for a wonderful 6. It was just so beautifully timed. Such fast wrists. Joss Buckley would have been proud of that. And if you could just raise your hand over to my right when you're ready, I'll then say one of these.
Jeff Perkins are one of our jingle makers.
Hold that thought, as this is just outside the off stump and it's played out to deep cover for a single. But are they going to come up for 2? I'm sure they are, because he found the gap and it's an easy 2. Go ahead.
Jeff Perkins, one of our jingle makers, has said the longer the jingles, the less wear and tear on the microphones. My theory, anyway. That's very true. And Andy Ward has said...
there's a bit of... projection there, yeah.
He said, millennials, Sham 69 was a band. We need Gary Naylor.
We do. Every time I come on here, I'm shown up for my lack of musical knowledge from anything before 1996.
That was played out to wide and long on for a single. So England absolutely coasting this. We're caught between 2 stools here, aren't we? We sort of want to see wickets, we sort of want to see dot balls, because then we get excitement. But I think... but we also want to see electrifying stroke play. This short, made-up position just outside the circle it's going to it every time. It's gone to it again. 67 needed off 72 balls with 9 wickets in hand. England up to 96.27% wins.
96.27%.
Wins. I'm telling you, that's what it is. Because I have an encyclopedic knowledge on such matters. Hales has 21 off 21 balls. Bairstow 21 off 13. He is the more emotionally erect tonight, as England is 76 for 1. Shamsi is 0 for 5 off 1 overs. We just had the end of an over. We have. And he's coming on now, yes, as I understand. He's actually got a girth on him, Shamsi. I think he's a bit of a Patel figure. Do you remember Patel's figure?
Well, he should be in the team, he should.
He should. He's just scored 600 runs in 6 innings. This is never going to be out. It is an LBW appeal. Tim Robinson, the hero of India, 84-5, says no.
Well, he scored 502 consecutive first-class innings, isn't he, Samet?
But he's a bit too... Didn't they tell him to lose some weight? I tell you something.
Did.
We're looking at that. That's out. That is out.
Outside leg, isn't it?
It's pitched outside leg, of course. Yeah. No, he's got a girth on him. He needs to lose half a stone. Sorry. That's how it is. If you want to be an international cricketer, you can't have that much of a tub.
Although he's going against that theory right now.
Because he's an international cricketer. No, but I'm saying what's going to happen is he's going to get the tap on the shoulder and say, if you want to ever play for us again, you have to lose some weight. Maybe that's only England who say that. Maybe England are weightist.
WG had a bit of a tub and he wasn't too bad.
Yeah, he also didn't like it
towards
when
the end of his 44-year career. That was a dot ball, second ball of the over, and now Shamsi comes in again. Both of these have been way outside the leg stump, but this one he gives some room outside the off stump and is played to deep cover for a single. So now then, this ball, 1 per ball thing has now gone to 66 or 69, so England are making sure they keep ahead of that. My prediction, what was my prediction earlier? It was we'd win by 7 wickets in the 18th over, I think. So at the moment I'm plumb in line for that.
Did you? I didn't hear you make that prediction.
No, neither did I. No. I don't think this.
I was with you guys.
Exists.
I was sitting over there. You were in the middle. You wouldn't shut up. And Sophia was over there on the jingles. This one now. Then this is up in the air. Is there a man there? It's deep, and it's 6. Now that was a really good jingle because he anticipated it. The best jingle players anticipate the 6. I don't know how the hell you did that, but it was literally the ball landed and you played the jingle for that. Pay rise. And I just thought this might be caught. He got under it a bit. I'm not sure he timed it as he wanted. There was a man there, but he was a bit wide, and it cleared him by 8 feet. Really good shot.
Christ Choir has come back. Baseball has become more about the home run, just like T20 is all about the six. Could be a jingle there.
Yeah, that's.
If we can put it to music, then absolutely. What are the traditional baseball kind of themes? Let's go out to the ball game, I guess.
No idea.
I've watched.
Jeff Perkins has come for you, Will. He said Will did actually make that prediction.
Hey, thank you. This was played the ball before the ball we're watching was played out to the made-up, deepish, not deep, long-on position, and this one's another made-up position. It's deepish, not deep, mid-wicket. For a single, Shamsi's not for 14 off 2. He's doing okay, but, well, he's actually winning the game for South Africa because England needs 7.01 per over, and he's going for 7 per over. So if all the South Africans do what Shamsi's doing, they will win.
Yeah, what is... We need to come up with an appropriate name for that position then, because we can't just keep calling it the made-up position. It's either... because for those... you have mid-wicket, who traditionally is on the one. If the ball goes straight to mid-wicket, they're not going to get a single.
Hold on, can we commentate on the crowd?
Yes.
A man is dancing in the crowd completely wild.
He's doing Rain Man with a security guard.
I think he's on crystal meth, but the security guard is dancing with him, which is actually, that is not what the security guard's allowed to do, I don't think. You're not allowed to dance with the crowd because you're supposed to be doing a job.
Yeah, but good PR, that's going to be gift, isn't it?
Yeah, right. Situation of match, 85 for 1. 58 needed off 11 overs. I wish it was closer. South Africa, I've never seen such a cynical bowling innings. They never kind of said, we've got 10 wickets. We're allowed to use them.
You know what, though? We have a new bowler.
Woo!
Right world, victorious, is excellent. Right world.
What is, my question is, what is Pretorius' first name? As
Dwayne.
This is played. Dwayne, not even Wayne. This is played out to a wide fine leg. The fine leg has to come round, and then they have a battle of whether it's fine leg or square leg come round. 2 runs is the outcome.
We need to realise that
3. We've just said it's very rare to see a 3 in 2020 cricket. Very rare that.
We need to work out that Will isn't great commentating over when we slide it down.
Yeah.
He sits there enjoying the music, and we're looking at you like, what are you doing? She's slid down.
Sophia's doing it, we don't on Facebook today, but she's kind of waving at me and saying, down, boy, down. And I think she's telling me to calm down. Is it a wide? Is it a catch? Is it a bird? Is it a plane? It is a wide. Rob Bailey.
Wide.
Yeah, you see, you just anticipated that jingle again. Can I touch you?
This is getting very inappropriate and weird, so I'm going to bring some tweets in, and yeah.
I think Morgan and Butler are listening to us because they're also in hysterics. Carry on.
Well, note, I'm not laughing.
Hold on. This is played at a mid-wicket, deep mid-wicket, and it's a single. Go.
Way, pom. Every decent South African team has had a designated fat lad. This team has 2, Shamsi and Schmutz. Schmutz sounds like a fat name, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it?
I'm going to name
He had no chance, did he?
No, and lurking Lima, traditional baseball themes, steroids, ...
Yeah, that's been very controversial of late with all those home runs in about 15 years ago, as this is played out to deep mid-wicket. In fact, it's just like the last ball, isn't it? For a single, Bairstow, 29 of 16. Why didn't they get him into England's team sooner?
Ben Ingham has said,
yes.
Not that deep mid-wicket. Barry Goodman.
Not that deep mid-wicket.
I like it. That's my position. Here on in. That's nicely succinct and does exactly what it says on the tin.
52 needed, 63 balls. So we've only got 3 balls left of our little menage a trois we've enjoyed here, as this is played to the keeper nearly, but the keeper's not quick enough and they get a very quick single. They don't need to run. You don't need to run those, boys. You're okay. You don't need to run the quick singles, but don't even
He's on with Johnny Bairstow. Johnny Bairstow lives for the quick single.
He does, and he could not look more concerned about the situation, and now he's just doing the thumbs up. He's kind of remember that these guys got run out themselves 3 times in their last match.
Also, so it is great as a batsman when you drop it and run, because you almost feel like you've got away with one. You haven't even had to hit the ball properly.
Hales is facing up. He's playing a bit of an A-B to V innings here. It's selfish, it's boring, but it's actually doing the job. He's 27 off 27 balls and he's chopping it over a short, fine leg. Is it going to run away for 4? Yes, it is. Maybe they should have had a fielder there. And there's a pun on the spongy triangular thing that says cricket has no boundaries. Do you see what they did there?
2 + 2 is a member.
Could it have been a catch if it had been a couple of feet slower? The bowlers think so. He looks a tiny bit like Chris Morris, this bowler, doesn't he? He's got the same sort of twinge or parting. Last ball of the 10th over, and this is played out. This is Pretorius bowling, Dwayne, for a... well, that's a not that deep. No, we've had not that. It's kind of... It's about 15 yards in for the boundary. Single to Hales. Goes to 32 off 29. YJB 30 off 17. We're at the halfway stage of the innings. They've got 97. They need 46 more. Am I going over there? Oh, we just talk amongst ourselves. So, as far as tension and drama and predictability, I'm afraid this is only a 1 out of 10 match. But for that, we entirely blame, in my mind, one of the top 3 greatest stroke makers in cricket history. So it's funny how the mighty have fallen, because we have knuckle. Yeah, I understand.
I can give you a tweet, though. Barry Goodman, don't forget that Indies sent Umar Akmal home from the Champions Trophy for being too fat. Christ He Choir, I think the man dancing in the crowd was Will Greenwood celebrating the Lions team announcement. Really?
Who are Will Greenwood's favourites out of that squad? Hello, everybody, by the way.
Hi,
and
Knuckle. Alan's Cricket Club has tweeted saying, on Cricinfo, Shamsi appears as sick, slow left-arm Chinaman. Is this still considered offensive by Guerrilla Cricket listeners?
I mean, we've tried to very much not use that word.
Thanks for that. I think we all know which one of our gorillas that was from.
Oh dear. As Smuts continues, or is brought back somewhat surprisingly, and bowls a fairly filthy delivery onto the pads of Alex Hales, and they scamper a leg by as it squirts down to third man.
The issue that you got is I don't read the tweets. This is the first time I'm reading them when I'm reading them aloud. There's no filter. Ben Ingham.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
Yeah.
In comes Smuts onto middle and leg. Much better delivery, a little bit more finish to that action, perhaps, as Bairstow pushes back to the bowler. There is no run.
This is good from Ben Ingham. Bairstow looks like a man who isn't sure if he locked the door on his way out tonight. That's so good.
In comes Smuts into a reverse sweep from well outside leg stump, and he's placed that beautifully, Johnny Bairstow.
Oh, that's a terrible piece of fielding.
Someone who hasn't placed himself beautifully is Andile Filaqueo, who managed to dive completely over the ball. He did a lot of good work running round 20 yards from cover, but then at the last was let down by his own body for runs.
I think that sums up South Africa today. Completely disinterested, completely hopeless, and deprived all cricket lovers of a good game of cricket, I'm afraid.
Yes, 140 for 3 in a 2020 international. Complete waste of everyone's time.
Yeah, really good. I've come in all the way from Wimbledon to
Smuts threw and round and pushed up by Bairstow too long off. There is no
Sophia's come in from Clapham.
easy single.
And you've come in from Vauxhall or somewhere.
200 yards from the Oval, yes.
Yeah, well, carry on.
Well, Nestle Boy has tweeted something rather extraordinary. He's just had a tweet from a mate who lives near Aberdeen, and his mate has just turned the heating on. Is your mate mad?
Bloody Scotland softies. As Hales sachets down the track and just punches this one up to long on.
Oh no, we've got a new word for
single.
It. Not quite long on.
Oh, I actually deep set mid on.
Deep set mid on. Yeah, it's these half and half positions where a bit
not long enough on.
Not that's a good one.
Not long enough.
That's exactly what it is. Are we going to see the end of the match on your shift?
I think it's very possible, as this Smuts is trying his best to delay the inevitable as he fires this one into leg stump.
You need to score 39 or 4 overs. Can you do it?
Probably would have been a wide, but punched by Bairstow. 2 short mid-wicket, end of the over.
Oh, I'm so hot.
You are so hot.
My legs are sweating. Like, I can't cope with this heat. It's what time is it? It's nearly 9 p.m. and it is still boiling out there.
I'm just drenched in sweat. It's the hottest June day since 1976, and I'm the only one in this room who remembers it. But
high five, Knuckle.
Considering that I'm with a
high five for our parents and looking younger.
Yeah, exactly.
A 22 and a 24-year-old. It's not surprising.
Are you 22?
I'm 26.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Oh, you 24?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were 22.
Well, completely wrong.
In comes Club Trundler Pretorius and is pulled dismissively by Alex Hales out to the mid-wicket boundary. They come back for a very easy 2.
That's total slander. How can you call him a Club Trundler?
Ashwin, Kuldeep Yadav, Bhuvneshwar Kumar और उमेश यादव, विराट कोहली,
शिखर धवन और अजिंक्य रहाणे। काफी अच्छी गेंदबाजी की थी। कट सॉरी लॉन्ग ऑन की तरफ खेला हुआ शॉट था कोहली का। 2 रन मिलते हुए जेसन होल्डर बॉलिंग कर रहे हैं कैप्टन विरुद्ध कैप्टन। काफी अच्छी गेंदबाजी की थी अपने पहले स्पेल में जेसन होल्डर ने। तीसरी गेंद करते हुए एक्स्ट्रा कवर की ओर खेल दिया है, गैप में खेल दिया है। 2 रन मिलते हुए विराट कोहली को एक और 2 रन। डीप एक्स्ट्रा कवर में खेला हुआ शॉट था, शॉर्ट पिच गेंद थी थोड़ी, और 2 रन मिलते हुए चौथी गेंद डालते हुए पांचवी गेंद शॉर्ट पिच गेंद थी, ऑन साइड की ओर पुल कर दिया था, कोई रन नहीं। सीधे खिलाड़ी के हाथों गेंद फ्लिक कर दिया था ऑन साइड की ओर, लेकिन कोई रन नहीं। एटी 87 रन धवन ने बनाए थे मंगेश जी। (33 ओवर के बाद भारत का स्कोर पहुंचा 173 रन, 2 विकेट के नुकसान पर। दोनों ही ओपनर पवेलियन जा चुके हैं। शिखर धवन ने बनाए थे 87 रन और अजिंक्य रहाणे ने बनाए थे 62 रन। बेहतरीन पारी खेली थी दोनों ही बल्लेबाजों ने। फिलहाल क्रीज पर है विराट कोहली और युवराज सिंह। विराट कोहली खेल रहे हैं 20 रन पर, और बिशु आए हैं अपनी 7वीं गेंदबाजी के लिए। कवर ड्राइव खेल दिया है फिर से पॉइंट के खिलाड़ी के द्वारा, मिसफील्ड, लेकिन कोई रन नहीं। अभी जोर से खेला हुआ शॉट था। दूसरी गेंद फिर से कट शॉट खेल दिया है, कोई रन नहीं। जो नए व्यूअर्स है उसको बता देना चाहता हूँ, इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए प्लीज, जिन्होंने अभी तक नहीं किया है। तीसरी गेंद मिड ऑन की तरफ खेला हुआ शॉट था, कोई रन नहीं, सिर्फ 1 रन मिलता हुआ, सॉरी जी हाँ 1 रन मिलता हुआ विराट कोहली को। 22 रन पर पहुंचे विराट कोहली और युवराज सिंह स्ट्राइक पर है अभी। रोहित इस सीरीज में नहीं है, उसको आराम दिया गया है। चौथी गेंद युवराज सिंह को करते हुए, युवराज सिंह डिफेंस करते हुए, कोई रन नहीं।
स्लो गेंद थी, पेड़ पर लगी, लेकिन कोई रन नहीं। युवराज सिंह के द्वारा एक और डॉट गेंद। एक और डॉट गेंद युवराज सिंह के द्वारा। अभी तक अपना खाता नहीं खोल पाए हैं युवराज सिंह, और स्कोर पहुंचा है 174 रन 34 ओवरों में, 2 विकेट के नुकसान पर। 40 ओवरों में कितना रन होगा लिखना ना भूलिए दोस्तों। आफ्टर 40 ओवर्स व्हाट विल बी द स्कोर ऑफ इंडिया। 40 ओवरों के बाद कितना।
कभी कैलाश हैट्रिक की तैयारी है? छोटे
राधे गोविंद, शर्मिष्ठा, शिवम, दशरथ, योगेंद्र, आप सबका स्वागत है। हमारे जो नए व्यूअर है उसको बता देना चाहता हूं कि इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए प्लीज, अभी तक नहीं किया हो तो। और 34 ओवर के बाद इंडिया का स्कोर पहुंचा 174 रन्स 2 विकेट के नुकसान पर। और फिलहाल ड्रिंक्स ब्रेक चल रहा है और मैं भी ड्रिंक्स कर लेता हूं। कैलाश कुमार बोल रहे हैं 230 हो गए, अशोक कुमार बोल रहे हैं 201 हो गए 40 ओवरों में। संदीप जी 200 रन बोल रहे हैं। श्रीनिवास राव 250 रन्स आफ्टर 40 ओवर्स। द डेस्टिनेशन 215 to 220 आफ्टर 40 ओवर्स।
दोस्तों बीमार
में फिलहाल तो काफी अच्छा खेल रहे हैं। अनीश खान 299 संदीप जी हाँ, कोरे कागज में लिख लेता हूँ 200 रन हो गए। अहमद मिर्जा 300 प्लस। जोसेफ और देवेंद्र बिशु सिर्फ 2 ही वेस्ट इंडीज बॉलर को सफलता मिली है अभी तक, और काफी अच्छी स्थिति में है फिलहाल भारत। काफी अच्छी रन रेट है, 5.11 की है, और दोनों ही ओपनर ने बेहतरीन पारी खेली थी। अशोक कुमार तिवारी आपका स्वागत है। वीरेश कुमार 40 ओवरों में हो गए 220 रन। पहली गेंद करते हुए जैसन होल्डर शॉर्ट पिच गेंद पुल कर दिया विराट कोहली ने, सिर्फ 1 रन मिलता हुआ। फाइन लेग की ओर खेल दिया था, सिर्फ 1 रन मिलता हुआ। 1 बाउंस सीधा फील्डर के हाथों गई थी गेंद। काफी शॉर्ट गेंद थी, ज्यादा शॉर्ट पिच गेंद करते हैं वेस्ट इंडीज के बॉलर, क्योंकि हाइट भी काफी अच्छी है वेस्ट इंडीज के बॉलरों की। अभिषेक पाठक 220 हो गए 40 ओवरों में। दूसरी गेंद और अपना खाता खोलते हुए युवराज सिंह कट कर दिया था थर्ड मैन की ओर। सिर्फ 1 रन मिलता हुआ युवराज सिंह को। इसी के साथ युवराज सिंह का स्कोर ओपन होता हुआ 1 रन पर पहुंचे। रंजीत 225 रन, इंडिया 220 रन। देखते हैं कितना स्कोर होता है 40 ओवरों में। तीसरी गेंद जेसन होल्डर की विराट कोहली को और काफी तेजी के साथ विराट कोहली ने सिंगल ले लिया। युवराज सिंह का देखते ही रहे थे, लेकिन विराट कोहली काफी तेजी के साथ आ गए और 1 रन मिलता हुआ विराट कोहली को। चौथी गेंद युवराज सिंह को होल्डर के द्वारा अपनी इस ओवर की। और युवराज सिंह के लिए स्लिप लगा दी है जेसन होल्डर ने। और गेंदबाजी की है लेग साइड की ओर कमर पर। ये कुछ मुझे शॉक कर गया होल्डर का निर्णय स्लिप लगाने का। वैसी गेंदबाजी नहीं की लेकिन स्लिप लगाई और गेंदबाजी की लेग साइड की ओर। फिलहाल 4 गेंद हुए इस ओवर के। 5वीं गेंद फुल लेंथ डिलीवरी ड्राइव कर दिया था, लेकिन खिलाड़ी के हाथों गेंद। आखिरी गेंद करते हुए
How you see him?
Certainly the first ball I saw him bowl, which was in one of the one-day internationals, and he was in as a sort of seam bowling all-rounder, could bowl at a reasonable pace and give it a whack. But then what came out was. Let's have a look. Yeah, he's a little quicker than Trundle, perhaps, as this one is just guided down to Shamsi on the third-man boundary by Alex Hales.
Is he? So he's not quite as quick as Chris Morris, because he's almost.
Chris Morris can bowl up 90-something.
Yeah, he's actually quite deceptively quick, Chris Morris. Yeah. Do we know why Morris isn't playing today?
I don't. He's in the squad. I can only assume that. I can only assume they're just looking at some new options. But you'd imagine this team would be very, very greatly strengthened by the inclusion of Chris Morris.
Yeah.
I imagine every T20 side will be greatly strengthened by Chris Morris.
I was looking down their batting lineup, and it doesn't look like they trusted anyone to bat. That was the problem, wasn't it?
Oh, remarkable shot from Johnny Bairstow, who's got a short ball about a foot and a half outside off stump, and has just walked outside off stump and showing absolutely no respect to Pretorius, has swatted it away over fine leg for one of these. The gentleman with the computer will now play a thing.
Well, quite exactly. Keep talking though, because I'd forgotten where I was.
I can give you a tweet. Nestle Boys told us that in Aberdeen it is cold and wet.
How cold?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Holding up for the heating, surely not. Pretorius in again, slower ball and work round the corner. Imran Tahir on the 45 is certainly not racing in towards that, and Bairstow picks up a single, moves to 40 with almost no alarm at all.
Oh, I'm so excited about you winning the game on your shift. This is really cool. It's a new match, everybody. Can Knuckle win the game within 15 overs?
I mean,
is that what you bet on?
No, that's what I'm saying. Can he do it?
In comes Pretorius, a right arm over to the right-handed Alex Hales, who blocks into the leg side. There is no run fielded in, is followed through by Pretorius.
Lost and Lonesome says she remembers 76. Everyone moved sofas and TV into the garden. No chance of rain. I think that's the year that Hunky Dory, the film about What was it about? I can't remember. It was about the summer of '76.
The David Bowie album.
Yeah, no. It was a musical using David Bowie's music.
In comes Pretorius outside off stump and nicely punched out by Alex Hales. But a good piece of fielding from Parnell, flinging himself to his right. Fast ball as a backward point is a relatively new development in cricket, but he certainly saved 4 and kept Pretorius's figures to expensive rather than embarrassing end of the over.
We have to play tribute to Johnny here. I mean, 40 off 23 is terrific. And he's never played beautifully, but no pressure. So he's not really.
Well, but he's every time he's been brought in these limited overs formats, he hasn't let England down at all.
We're comparing the worms. What do you think? Do you think these worms are friendly, or do you think they are kind of have an allergic reaction to each other?
One of them is wilting in the heat somewhat. How can you be 140 for 3 in 20 overs? How do you end up with that? And how do you end up? They didn't go for the second on the last ball. It's completely baffling. We do have a change.
That was well spotted. I didn't even spot that.
It was ridiculous. Yeah. Why would you not go for it? You've got 7 wickets after 1 ball. We do have a change of bowling. It's a filthy long hop outside off stump, and Bairstow goes back and has guided this very nicely.
He's not going to stop it.
Fellow Quayo again. The legs were willing, but the arm was weak, and he palmed it round the corner.
Completely sums up South Africa, because there again, he's dived, he's got there, he's palmed it on, and then he's literally punched the ball nearly 50 yards, curving around the rope, and then of course it's just kissed the rope. It's just kind of that way. He was never going to keep that out because it's been that sort of day.
In goalkeeping terms, that's a weak hand, as this is punched more kindly for fellow Quayo, should we say, and he flings the ball back in, just a single.
No, one of the worst games of cricket I've ever seen. I'm really actually not annoyed.
I mean,
I'm just kind of
it's been a thoroughly professional performance from England, but South Africa really haven't come to the party. Tahir in and short and slow, and that's reasonably half-fielded from de Villiers at mid-on, trying to almost perform one of those stunt run-outs. Where saw Jadeja do that in the Champions Trophy, where he misfielded and then threw down the stumps brilliantly. I think they did come through. No, they didn't come through for a single, I don't think. Bairstow on 45, not out. Alex Hales just playing for a red inker on 37. In comes Tahir, floated up on middle enough, and that's a beautifully judged single from Johnny Bairstow. Just dropped into the offside, and they come through for a single. And I think Moselli behind the stumps, who had to come a long way to field that at cover, is pulled up limp. As was that a point of appreciation, Sophia, towards the recognition?
Why? No. It is Will Greenwood, isn't it?
Yeah.
And has he just been called up?
To the Lions.
Hey, here we go.
Down the track comes Alex Hales, treating Tahir as the.
My goodness!
Oh dear Lord! It was one of the worst pieces of cricket you've ever seen. It was Tahir did his job. He tossed it up outside off stump. Alex Hales came down the track, completely mistimed it, and Fahad Berhardine had all the time in the world to steady himself under the catch at long on. Fell backwards, fell over, palmed it over his own head for 4. Jingle, 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 jingle.
What do we do? Trace the bullet.
That could
four jingle. Yeah,
any number of things.
Yeah, I can do that. Here we go again.
Much more emphatic from Alex Hales this time. Couple of steps down the track. Big, long, swinging arc of the bat, and sails into the crowd over mid-wicket. 10 runs, slightly unluckily, in fairness, off the last 2 balls of Tahir's third over. He's gone for 37 off his 3. England need 14 runs to win off 42 balls.
Yes, go ahead.
The Twitter sphere is, well, not the Twitter sphere, but I am being taken for a ride, and as I'm slowly melting into this chair, because obviously Will Greenwood cannot have been called up because he is really old.
Yeah. Well,
he's nearly as old as A-Beam.
Well, also, all the surprise call-ups for the Lions have been people who happen to be in Australia on holiday.
No, they happen to be in Australia playing for Wales, don't they? Convenient. Nestle Boy remembers being at Wimbledon in 76. Geez, it was bloody hot. The grass was burnt to a crisp and people fainted all over. We also have someone else. Beng Ingham says it's very outdated. There's just a few left-arm wrist spinners in professional cricket. You rarely hear of them. They were talking about Chinamen.
We've seen a few more in international cricket in recent times, I think. India found one in the Test series called Yadav. Did very well in that last Test.
And Wei Pom Pom. Berhardine would have been better trying to catch that in his teeth.
It was very, very... he does have quite a lot of tooth. There was a very strange attempt at the catch. He fell backwards and falling backwards with your palms kind of facing outwards can be quite an effective tactic for catching the ball because you cushion the blow of it. Jack Callis used to do it all the time at slip. The one that was just hit quite hard to him, just wasn't bothered about how it looked as long as he caught it. But then he went in with the palms facing towards him, and it was just a complete mess, frankly.
It's a doubly disappointing day. I mean, of course, we haven't forgotten about England's horrific performance in the CT semi-final, and now they produce this. It's just kind of, England, why are you so unbeatable one moment and unspeakable the next?
Was it a horrific performance? I think Pakistan were magnificent.
No, but England just couldn't handle it. Couldn't handle the pressure. Couldn't handle the
neither could India, who were meant to be like the best.
I mean, neither in England nor India could handle Pakistan's bowling, which was outstanding,
so
really outstanding.
You don't necessarily always have to crucify England just because you're an England fan.
I mean,
English fans like to crucify them.
This is probably my temperament. I generally tend to prefer to credit the team who won rather than the other way around.
Yeah, because actually, like, they weren't. It wasn't a terrible, like South Africa with all their runouts. That was terrible.
That was hilarious.
But England couldn't handle the conditions, and it was a slow, low pitch.
And Morgan
get stuck in and get 220.
Yeah, Morgan said as much afterwards. He said we did not adapt to the conditions, and Pakistan did.
That's what I'm saying. It's terrible. And of course, England against South Africa in that last game at Lords, that was absolutely horrific as well when we went 20 for 6.
But again, there was some injudicious drives, but there was also a great bowling from Rabada and Parnell. I mean, it's very rare to see the ball swinging that much in the early stages of an ODI. Yeah.
I think what I'm saying is that England are either winning really, really big or losing really, really big. Can we have a little more excitement?
Michael Atherton referred to them as flat track bullies.
Yeah, well, a bit like Graham Hick was a flat track bully. I mean, that sort of thing, yeah.
I mean,
we're the fair weather friends.
England will have to learn this if they want to become a great side.
Win ugly, absolutely. I mean, look how Australia won that 96 World Cup semi. They were down and out. They won the 99 World Cup semi when they were down and out. You've got to be able to find a way to keep in the match.
I think Australia lost their first 2 group games in the 99 World Cup and were on the verge of elimination.
Well, of course, and then Herschel dropped the catch. And then, of course, but then in the semi-final...
Obviously didn't have a chance with the bat due to the ridiculous slow coachery of de Villiers and Bahadian.
I mean, de Villiers thought it was the Champions Trophy.
It's very, very strange. There's a slip-in, which is a move of uncharacteristic boldness from de Villiers, the captain, as Shamsi bowls a decent ball, floated up on middle and off, and Bairstow defends.
I think he needs 5 slips. Well, England had 3 slips early on today. You don't see that much.
As much as de Villiers protests that he wants to be captain, he doesn't necessarily give that impression in the field.
No, I think de Villiers would quite like to be on a sofa with Graham Smith drinking a couple of cold ones.
In comes Shamsi, left arm over. Bairstow backs away and carves this one past cover. No chance for anyone to even palm that onto the rope. Beautifully placed by Johnny Bairstow. 4 runs.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And with seemingly minimum effort, Johnny Bairstow has made a really excellent 50.
Indeed. Are there 50 jingles?
There are indeed. In play.
Yeah. And it's around about the middle column or so.
In play 1 or in play 2. There's quite a few.
Can I just do giant mistake?
Number 6.
No, not giant mistake.
Number 6.
Oh, this was a giant mistake.
It was nearly a giant mistake, as Bairstow was for a horrible swipe over the leg side.
That's what I apologise to Alex Hales. That is what Jason Roy wishes he could be, Johnny Bairstow.
I think we all wish we could be Johnny Bairstow. Yeah, it was floated up from Shamsi, and Bairstow had a horrible hoik and mercifully missed it, and it missed the stumps. He chips this one. That's a beautiful bit of placement off the hard practice square. He bounces this one over the man at cover. The first bit to long off rather, keeps this strike. 55 off 32. He's going to deny Hales his 50, we think, as 5 runs are needed off the last 6 overs. Is de Villiers going to bring himself onto bowl? What's going on?
We did look up de Villiers' age because you were calling him old earlier. 33 years and 127 days.
Who is that? Will Greenwood?
De Villiers.
Oh, de Villiers. How old?
33 years and 127 days.
You can add on a bit for wicket keeping years.
Yeah, in life, no, but in cricket.
I mean, he's been playing international cricket for what?
He's on the
10, 12 years
at least.
Yeah, and you know, he could do a Mark Ramprakash and keep going till he's 44. Could have another 10 years. His back.
Having said that, Yuvraj Singh's been playing international cricket since 2000.
Yep.
And he's still going.
I think he would have scored at a higher rate
just
today.
doesn't age, does Yuvraj Singh?
He's got a little bit. There's more of him than he was, but he doesn't facially appear to have changed at all since he.
I want to know what cream he's putting on his face. What's the secret?
I mean, well, he had a pretty horrific time of it a few years ago, obviously. Yeah,
exactly.
Yuvraj.
Yeah.
But he's come back from it remarkably well. There was an interview with him recently. He's saying he quite liked being called a fighter.
Yeah.
He's always been a bit. Fella Schweier given the unenviable task of conceding the winning runs, and Johnny Bairstow has managed to leave that for 4 over the vacant second slip. Short ball, he thought about swaying out of the way and uppercutting it. He thought about leaving it, sort of did neither, and managed to middle it for 4.
Exactly, like this.
I know you got it. You're all about it. You want to shout it, count the 4 times.
You know what, Bairstow, I'm going to give Bairstow credit there. He realised just in time that was hittable.
Now then, Bairstow, I was going to say Bairstow could have a strike rate of 200 today, but if he hit this for 6, he'll be 65.
The hilarious thing would be Bairstow blocking out the rest of this over to give Hales a chance at a 50.
He left that one.
He's
out! Wait.
No, that's 1 for the over. Generally, when the finger up is accompanied by a point to the shoulder, that's a sign. It was a bouncer. It was close to a wide, to be honest, which would have been a somehow fitting way to end this game for South Africa. Must have passed.
AB's not happy.
No, would have passed Bairstow at probably sort of eyebrow height through to the keeper, outside off stump. He thought about cutting it over the vacant slip region, but decided better of it. He defends, and Alex Hales very magnanimously responds to Johnny Bairstow's call. Bairstow is fist pumping as he runs, and England have absolutely demolished South Africa inside 14.3 overs by 9 wickets. England were thoroughly professional in all regards, but South Africa, having tried to blood a few new players, really left themselves with very little hope.
Absolutely ridiculous. Meanwhile, all of this has been going on. The Twitter sphere has been erupting into an argument.
Go ahead. It's much more interesting than the last few years.
It's not that much more argument. It's not that much more interesting. It's the argument about the use of the word Chinaman.
Oh God, not again!
Exactly. Alain Cricket Club is saying that we are being, we're banning it, etc. No, we're not. I just said it. But Ben Ingham has replied saying something that is very relevant. Who cares where else Chinaman is used to describe the left arm wrist spinner? It's outdated and not nice. Don't get why anyone who's left arm bowler would bowl wrist spin though. And then he's gone for an emoji with all the sort of laughy tears coming out. But
I mean, if you can do it well, it pretty much guarantees you a game. There's not that many of them around, even these days, where there have been a few more.
And the Red Pirate Rowan has said other irrelevant cricket commentaries are available as a sort of response to the long chain of argument that has been going. I think people in the green room are replying to this.
Yes, I think one of them may in fact be in charge of the Alain's Cricket Club account.
I know, I quite agree. Hi, how are you? Long time no see.
I'll tell you a 6 story about Alain's Cricket Club. I was there for the under-10s, Roehampton under-10s on Sunday. We needed 78 to win off 20. And after 12 overs, we were 58 for no wicket. But you do lose 6 runs every time you lose a wicket in the under-10s. And we scored -1 for 5 off our last 8 overs to lose by 19 runs. It just shows just when you think you've settled the account in this game, you haven't. And they brought on Hurricane Betsy, who was this very tall, glamorous young lady, under 10, with this mane of hair. She looked a bit charging towards the wicket, like Braveheart. She's called Betsy. And she took 3 wickets in an over.
I do quite like that thing of the women cricketer playing in a men's game and then being so much better than every bloke cricketer out there.
By far the best bowler on the park. She just absolutely dazzled us. And it's the most accurate under-10 bowler I've ever seen.
I suppose actually it's not that surprising, because actually in most cases as a women cricketer in a men's team, that you have to be that good to get a game. But it is always quite funny. Like, we had a bowler a few years ago for the club I used to play for. She played a couple of games she started in the third 11 and was way below her level. The only reason she was put into the third 11 is because
they had a space.
Well, because thirds and not seconds was because she had possession of ovaries. And took 8 for 20 in 10 overs.
But Charlotte Edwards always credits a lot of her career is because she grew up playing age group cricket with boys. So she always had to face balls that were bowled at her really quickly. Pretty soon as well, like I find with my guy friends that I sort of, when you when you get to know everyone's personality, they often forget. They will often sort of say something or, make some bodily function noise and say, "Oh, sorry, I forgot you were not a boy. I forgot you weren't one of us." And as a woman, I really like that. I really like the fact that,
gender defines whether you enjoy a fart joke.
Oh, I love a fart joke. So, no, it obviously doesn't. But,
we had someone at my old club who was she was only about 17, but she was the Scotland international wicketkeeper.
Nice.
And so was by a distance the best wicketkeeper at the club.
Yeah.
I.e. the only one who could actually do it properly.
Yeah. Should we get on to the
Twitter
sphere? So Reluctant 12th Man has said, who are the man of the match candidates? I put money on Mark Wood. Yeah, quite agree.
He really is quite good.
We haven't seen his horse impression, though, this time. He's been quite quiet with that. And Muttley says, thanks for the coverage, folks. Can we call Bairstow a dick for robbing Hales of his 50? Hope to see you all on Sunday.
I was just trying to keep a little bit of interest in the game.
We think that this is... You keep playing it.
You know Mark Wood. Yes, he is an England bowler, quite good.
You can keep talking while we...
No, you don't want to talk about this.
Just the normal guy. Of course. Except for just one thing. What? He thinks that he's a horse.
Oh. Right. What? actually, well, if you pass me the jingle machine, in honour of the fact that I'm commentating with Sophia for the first time in some time, I think we should... there is a jingle we have to play out on in lieu of the...
Is Paul Howarth... Is Paul...
Grubby? Are you out there, my friend?
Grubby, are you... He hasn't tweeted today.
Is this the power?
But this one is for Not Fred as well. I tell you what, Knuckle's going to get up to put this one on. It was a really sad time for Knuckle, myself and Grubby when this man announced his retirement to pursue... basically to say to his parents that thank you for, or whoever paid, thanks for sending me to Cambridge because I will now do something useful with that degree.
Yeah, I mean, he's retired from cricket to go and change the world.
Yeah, his name, of course. Have you found it yet?
Something weird has happened to it.
Oh, have you got it?
Keep wibbling.
His name, well, he was a Surrey youngster, even though Surrey get accused of getting too many old people.
Double first
from Cambridge, and his name was...
Concert level pianist. Come on!
Zafar Ansari!
Come on!
Oh, that was perfect.
A couple of
and his name was... Zafar Ansari.
Oh, you seem to have unplugged something.
Yeah. I had to unplug it to get the... unplug it to get the computer.
Okay, we've really fucked up here. Knuckle's going to move, and I'll keep So we've ruined it, but hopefully, Grubby, can everyone on Twitter be... trolling Grubby to try and get... Well, not actually trolling him, but getting him to turn on Guerrilla Cricket right now if he isn't already. There have been no more tweets. The argument online continues, but, that's just boring to me. Old news.
And it just remains for us to say goodbye and join us for the second game, which is on Friday.
At 5 p.m, I think it starts. See you then, and enjoy this. I'm going to dance.
I'm sorry, not as if I'm sorry. I'm sorry, not as if I'm sorry.
A face that lies. Young guy, looking pretty sure he still can't cool it. He's a no-run bowler, mad front to the steam, slow left arm. They don't really know legion. Some other guys would have been sooner, but he know if I'm. He says, it sounds like more deadly than Bangladesh. Something I can't see. He's on the tour, he's on the team, and I can't read, cause so serene, and if he plays it right, he scores I'm sorry,
never been to Harare.
I'm sorry, I should be Calamari. I'm sorry, not as if I'm sorry. I'm sorry, he's a great big story. Guerrilla cricket.